Radio, let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues,
entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning to you, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. It's a brand new day and it's a beautiful Thursday morning, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You're welcome to the news headline review. Right here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Remember that you are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on, send in your comments, let's get interactive and engage more with us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. My name is Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu, and I'll be doing this morning with Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso, who will be joining us shortly. Good morning to you, Miss Regina. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine, your side.
I'm good. You sound very excited this morning. It's either you ate before coming, because you and food.
I don't do that.
I
love food.
You love. I wouldn't say like is an understatement.
I love food.
You love food.
Especially good food. Oh my God. Who doesn't like good food?
Of course.
I love
obviously, we all love good food.
My appetite is not really that high in the morning.
Food?
Yeah. Especially in the morning. My appetite is not really that high.
Okay, I see. Yeah. But I see you smiling very widely. Are your cheeks not hurting from your smile?
They are not hurting.
Did you sleep well?
I did. Yes,
I did. Today was a longer night or shorter night? Which one did you experience today?
When it's long and short, we are in.
You are in.
I can't complain, my sister.
You can't complain. You can't complain.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I saw the weather very cloudy. And I was like, oh my God, thank you for answering our prayers. And
this morning, it was even drizzling a bit.
It was drizzling. Yeah. And it didn't happen because, Charlie, the heat in Accra,
it's too much.
If it is like this here, then what of those in the northern region? How are they coping?
For them, I would
heat?
say they are used to it, so they don't see it to be a problem.
They don't see it to be a problem. But
NDB is for now.
Gen Z for the heat is something else.
Yes.
The heat is very wild. I hope you're also experiencing the heat. So which part of Accra are you in, or which part of the country are you in? If you're not experiencing the heat, then let me tell you that you are very, very, very lucky. Because the heat we are experiencing here, my dad will say, if I say it right now, they'll stereotype, they'll come for me. So let me just swallow it. Right. At this juncture, we are going to be delving into our news items for this morning. TTAG demands immediate halt to teacher recruitment, threatens nationwide protests. The Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana is calling on government to suspend the ongoing teacher recruitment exercise, warning of possible nationwide protests if its demands are not met. At a press conference, the association said the current recruitment, limited to about 7,000 slots, is unfair, especially as multiple batches of trained teachers are competing for the same positions. TTAG argues that many qualified teachers have already spent years at home without jobs, and the current process risks leaving even more graduates unemployed. Their concerns come shortly after comments by Education Minister Haruna Iddrisu, who explained that financial constraints have limited recruitment despite higher demand. TTAG is now demanding immediate suspension of the recruitment exercise, broader stakeholder engagement, a fairer system for distributing teaching jobs. The association says failure to act could lead to nationwide demonstrations as frustration continues to grow among trained but unemployed teachers. So TTAG has a message for the Education Minister, Haruna Iddrisu. And Ms. Regina, I believe you remember, we actually discussed right there in the studios if it was actually fair, that's looking at the number of teachers that are actually home, and then the government is recruiting just 7,000 out of those numbers, looking at the teachers that have been home since 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. And they are recruiting just 7,000. Even just 1 year batch, that number couldn't even, employ such a number of teachers. And the Education Minister said this is actually due to financial constraints. We don't have enough funds. If we should employ the teachers, primarily the government needs 50,000 teachers, but due to financial problems, they are able to only employ just 7,000. People ask, is that fair? Is that an excuse at all for the government to say that due to financial constraints, so they'll be able to employ just 7,000, whereas we have a quite number of teachers, at home? And then due to that, TTAG is actually demanding an immediate suspension of the recruitment exercise, a broader stakeholder engagement, and a fairer system for distributing the teaching jobs. So, they are threatening the government that if you don't listen to our pleas, or if you don't meet our demands, the probability that we will go for a nationwide demonstration is very, very high. So this is what they're asking for, and this is their threat to the government. Ms. Regina, we don't have money to employ them. And the money that have been budgeted for these people are just 7,000. But the number of teachers at home are large. It's not like they are not trained, though. They are actually trained, but they are unemployed. And these people some have been in the house for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Some even have been in the house for like 4 years, only for the government to come and say that we don't have enough money to pay for you people. So this is the number that we are employing. The other teachers, the other unemployed, trained unemployed teachers are angry. And this is the plea they are putting before the government. Have we gotten to that point?
I would say we've exceeded that point, because when we look at these trainee teachers, they are well educated, they are well trained, and they have every right to administer their displeasure. When we look at this colleges of education, especially in terms of these teaching jobs, at the end of every, let's say, 3 years, I don't know if their term of education is 3 years, but let's use 3 years for example. At the end of every 3 years, at least they produce 15,000 to 20,000 teachers. Now, you come out to tell these same people that you only have 7,000 slots for them. And also, we are talking about 2021, 2022, and 2023 teachers who are still home, educated, well trained, but unemployed. So how do you expect, let's say, 50 million people to compete for 7,000 slots? It is not understandable. And I do understand them perfectly well. If 7,000 you people should cancel it so that everyone will be home. Or better still, cancel it and find an alternative that would favor everyone. Because see, honestly, it is not nice. It is not right for the Ministry of Education to come and tell us that they are facing financial issues. We know that they are facing financial issues. But is that enough excuse for people's wasted times, wasted resources, and wasted energy? I always say that if I knew back then that this is how the payroll system would be, 9 to 5 job would have been, I wouldn't have wasted my time
Going to school.
Education is key to success, but it doesn't open all doors. That key, they say, is the master key. But a master key that refuses to open all doors, is it a master key? It is not a master key. Now, people are concentrating more on the vocational and technical schools because it is paying. But then times we were not even regarding it. We thought when you venture into that, automatically, excuse me to say, wabon. I went to school. My first year of education, that is the first term, I was in visual arts because I'm good at drawing. I'm good at I don't know how to put it, but sobeshem pabwa, we draw it first before you bring it out. We do all those, but I got to a point where people look down on me. I'm intelligent, but the way people look down on my parents.
That is actually the misconception.
Exactly. You got to remember, my father was like, that visual art I'm doing, I better change it because Oba the okay visual art I am saying, now when I'm on TikTok, I see ladies with the machine doing their slippers, shoes, bags. I'm like, oh God. It's not too late. I can go back and learn it.
Yeah, young.
So, looking at the rate at which people undermine the vocational and technical entrepreneurship then days, compared to these days, people are really regarding it now. I thought I called Tim Posse will be equal to can say, we'll go with still time. Especially the nurses. With this issue, it has everything to do with the nurses. Because they are also suffering the same fate. Some people from even a year 2013 till now, they still don't have a job. I have a friend who completed way back, was it 2019? Yeah, either 2019 or 2020.
A teacher.
No, a nurse. Up till now, she has nothing doing. So it was just last year she went to venture into POP. A lady doing POP. We now a frat trade no jinaso ladder no jinaso, and it's nice. At the end of the day, she's getting what she's supposed to get. At the end of the week or at the end of the day, she's getting more than what she would get when she's supposed to be in the nursing industry. So with the teachers, their plea is understandable, very understandable, because you can't tell us you are only concentrating on 7,000 slots for teachers. Then you just imagine 7,000 and we have like 50 million teachers. So the rest of tens of thousands, what should they do? You've wasted their resources. We are not saying that it's wrong for these people to venture into what they want to do. But passion is not only about passion. The money is part. People occupying and using their time wisely is also part. So if you know that when these teachers or nurses at the end of their service, they wouldn't get a job to do, close down most of these schools. Or better still, limit the number of people you take into these institutions for them to come and learn. Sometimes I would say grace favors a lot of people. But like these people, some people have stayed on for 5 years, 6 years, and still counting, and they are still waiting and trusting on the government. Or when you say at least they'll get a job, but now it's only 7,000 slots. So the Ministry of Education, together with the minister himself, they need to sit and make sure that they find an alternative for these teachers. Because no parent would be happy seeing their child at home each and every day. At the end of the day, you spend thousands of cedis every semester. The handouts, the service, day in and day out transportation. It's a waste of money.
It's a waste of money. Right. Miss Debbie, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Do you agree with TTAG that they should suspend recruitment entirely?
In a way, I do agree with them. Because if you listen to what they put out there, they have a lot of people they are supposed to employ during the previous administration, and they were still in the house. So this 7,000 they are about to employ, they are not starting from people who graduated, say maybe from 2017. No, they are starting from 2025, 2026. People graduated from within this 2 years, 2025, 2026.
From the reports I have, they are recruiting people from 2022 and 2023.
Well, what I heard, I don't know, but what I heard was between 2025 and 2026.
So what happens
And
to
that is
the rest
why-
of 2022?
That is why they are protesting. That if you want to employ people on a normal basis, you should start from people who are not employed, say from 2018, who are still in the house, but they went through a formal training to become a teacher. So if you are telling us that you want to employ from 2025, 2026, then automatically you are passing a message across that people graduated from 2018, 2020, 2021, 2024, you have no hope. You should look for a different alternative. But don't forget that all those people were not employed from that year. They were the same people who voted for you because they had this kind of assurance in you that when you take over as the president or as a government, you are going to employ them. But here lies the case. You said you are employing from a range of say 2025 and 2026. Then what are you telling them? So they are calling on the government to halt the recruitment process because it doesn't really make sense. And then when we look at the number of people that are unemployed, there are more. If you are telling us that you're employing only 7,000, for me, it doesn't really make sense. And this is the main reason why I kept saying that you as a government, you have no reason to tell me that there is no job, so you can't employ these people. You need to employ them.
The government says there's no money.
What does it mean by there is no money?
That's what
The public universities we have is for the government. The school fees they take, a percentage goes to the government. And let's look at the population of this public universities. Let's forget about the private, because the private institution, the money you take goes to the university, but you have to pay some tax to the government. That is understandable. But when we take public universities that are sold for the government, they pay the school fees you take. It doesn't. All the fees doesn't necessarily go to the university. Part of it goes to the government, and a part of it is being maintained in the school to use for some renovations and all that pertaining the school, the university. So you can't tell me that there is no school is not doesn't it go into the coffers of the state?
Well, they have other things they also need to, such as light, sanitation, maintenance of the building.
Which building? No, which building? The school building.
Of course.
That is what I said. That from the beginning, I said the school fees, it is being slashed. Part goes to the government, and a part is being maintained in the school for renovation of whatever they need to do. So the part that goes into the coffers of the state, what do they use it for?
Would you say that this is actually as a result of the government not putting proper plans in place?
No, that is
why we are where we are today.
Yes, basically that is it. We don't we are so much in a hurry to bring out, quick solutions without thinking twice.
Short-term solutions.
Exactly. We don't sit down to think through it, analyze it. Is this going to help? No. And when they say and then people applaud us that this is what we want to do, and then it ends there. We don't think through into it. And so it's sad though. They should just be sincere to us and then let us know, because each year we have about 1,000 plus of students graduating from senior high school that are moving into the university, and every year we have about 1 million plus of students that are graduating from the universities. So if you feel like school is no longer needed, let us know. And better still, just like Regina said, if maybe you recruit or you admit 1,000 students, you should slash it. This is particularly to the private university, where they are taking 100 no so as so they won't take, they don't exceed. But public universities,
they'll take and take because of the money.
But private, if the limit is 100 students, when it's 100, no matter the grade you've gotten, they are not going to take you.
Right. A question just popped up, and I don't know if it's so. We have the teacher training colleges, such as the College of Education and the rest. And we have a backlog of teachers actually at home. Could it be possible that the government will put a cap on the teacher training school that you shouldn't admit maybe any persons from maybe this particular year to this year, so that we'll be able to sort out the rest in the house. Because the more you allow them to come to school, the more they graduate, and the more their numbers also increase. I don't know if you get me.
I really understand what you're saying. We really understand what you're saying. But the problem is we are refusing to plan ahead. All the leaders we've experienced never planned into the future. They plan for today. Because if you plan into the future, you should know that 10 years to come, we'll have more people entering into the training colleges, the teaching training colleges, the nursing training. We shouldn't be the one telling you, because as it stands now, there are two professions that is so common, everybody wants to enroll into, and that is nursing and teaching. So if you realize that, what are you supposed to do as a government? You build more hospitals, you build more schools, you develop the place, and then you employ these people. You don't build the schools, you don't build the hospitals. Yesterday I was listening to the Minister of Health in an interview on CT, and then he was saying that he will try his possible best so that every district will have 2 doctors. And then Bernard Avle was asking him,
2 doctors?
Yes, Bernard Avle was asking that is it all the districts that have hospitals? Is it all the districts that have like a what's the name? Equipped hospital? He said no, some have polyclinic.
But two doctors for just a district.
2 districts. So total, how many doctors?
Like, you get it.
And we have a lot of doctors.
2 doctors. So it should tell you that we have the human labor, but the workforce and
workforce,
No.
So to employ this human labor, we don't have it. So
it.
we have the people in abundance, but we don't have
the jobs.
The jobs to recruit these people, employ these people. That is it. We shouldn't be struggling, because countries like Germany, they are calling for
workers.
But here we have the workers,
but we don't have jobs.
Yes, to employ these people.
It's so sad. So in the coming days, you see TTAG going on a demonstration, and if you see them on the street, just know that it's because the government have not listened to their demand. Right, so let's proceed. Mahama's absence on 2028 ballot will reshape electoral dynamics. Sami Ewuku, Member of Parliament for Ikuapem North, Samuel Ewuku, says the absence of John Dramani Mahama on the 2028 ballot could significantly change Ghana's political landscape. According to him, Mahama has been a dominant figure in multiple elections, and his expected exit will force the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, to rethink its strategy and present a new face to voters. Mr. Ewuku compared the situation to what the New Patriotic Party (NPP) experienced when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo stepped aside, requiring the party to introduce and market a new candidate. He stressed that political success is not just about campaign visibility, like billboards and T-shirts, but about the candidate's credibility and connection with voters. Political marketing is not just the billboards. The real decision is made on the ballot, he said. Mr. Ewuku believes the 2028 election will test how well parties can build trust, promote new leadership, and connect with voters beyond traditional campaign methods. So this is coming from Sami Ewuku, and he says that President John Dramani Mahama's absence on the 2028 ballot will reshape electoral dynamics, and he compared this to the New Patriotic Party flag bearer candidate, which is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. When Akufo-Addo actually stepped down, they had to campaign for, bring up a new face and then all of that. But due to that, it actually affected them badly. As that's why the people didn't actually vote for them. We don't know if it's due to their track record or the individual. But looking at the 2028 coming up election that is coming up, we'll see that the NDC will introduce a new face, whereas the NPP already have a face that they have already marketed. Do you think that there could be changes when it comes to voting for one person to lead for for us as a government? Ms. Debbie?
Do I think that could be? Now, when I listen to Mr. Ewuku, per what he has said, it means President Mahama is a threat to them.
Yes.
And now that President Mahama wouldn't be on the ballot paper, it means they hold a higher chance of winning the 2028 election, which I do not see it as such.
You don't see it as
such? Because when a party is bringing out a new member, it's not about the member per se. It's the people are going to vote based on what the party did.
Okay.
When they held power previously. So if people are going to, whoever NDC is going to bring on board as their flag bearer to replace President John Dramani Mahama, they are going to vote for that person based on the track record of the NDC, not the person per se. Although they are going to look assess the person and all that, but then 100% of the vote will be based on the track record of NDC, and that is why everybody is calling on the NDC that they should tread cautiously and ensure that whatever they've promised, they do it. Because if you don't do it, and then the person you brought or you marketed before is no longer coming in to stand for the party, and then you are bringing in a new person, automatically whoever you are bringing is not representing himself. Although the person is coming out as maybe Deborah, but the person is me as Deborah. I'm not standing for myself. I'm representing Ghana Talks Radio. So whatever I put out there is Ghana Talks Radio, not me. So with what he is saying, for him, he has it in mind that when the NDC should bring out a new person, that person cannot compete with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, because they've marketed Mahmoud Bawumia enough. And so he's now, for him, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is now in the mindset of the people. They know what he has done. He's a digital man, he's blah blah blah, he's that and all that. But he has also forgotten that people will not vote for Bawumia because of digitalization. They are going to vote for Bawumia based on what Akufo-Addo did. Bawumia is no longer in power. President Mahama is in power. So the chances of the NDC winning again in 2028 is high. That is if they take whatever they are doing now seriously. But if they don't, the chances of them winning in 2028 is slim. Slim because the Ghanaians or the ordinary Ghanaian will base on what Akufo-Addo did in 2024 and the subsequent years they've been in power. Mind you, it is the NDC that is in power now. So when they get to the ballot paper, they are going to vote based on what Mahama did now. So you need to play your cards very well. If you don't play your cards well, it will go in favor of the MPP, because the MPP is not in power. So automatically we see them not being so proactive enough. All attention and everything is now on the NDC. You are in power. So there is no way you should be giving us excuses or you should be pointing finger at the other party. You need to play your cards well. If you don't, and then you end up messing up everything, the ordinary Ghanaian will now divert its attention back to 2024. What did Akufo-Addo did? Okay, he brought free SHS. Mahama came into power for the past 4 years. What did he do? Or promise he away 1 year. Akufo-Addo buy and although the system wasn't that good, but at least he gave us free SHS. Okay, fine. Aside that, what again? Then they began to assess and then comparing the 4-year term of President Mahama, which they feel is going to bring heaven on earth, and then the past 8 years administration of the MPP, which they felt was worse, and that is why they voted for the MPP, the NDC, and now they've not seen anything profitable with the NDC being in power for 4 years. They'll result back to the 8 years of the MPP, and the chances of the MPP winning in 2028 will be very, very high. I'm telling you the truth. But as it stands now, he is just trying to be calculative because they felt like they saw Dr. Bawumia enough. But for me, I don't see it as such. The chances for the NDC is very, very vast. They have to take advantage over it and work. And that is why when they started this whole issue about they've seen
Julius
Debra, Asiedun Ketia, Okujetua Blakwa, Sami Jenfi, Atofosin, and all those people. We now have prophetess who can see into the future, and then they can see these people with, presidential ambition. That is why a lot of people were saying that stop what you are doing, because you might end up, what's the name? convincing or no, you might end up being a threat to the progression of your party and your leader, which is President Mahama. You are supposed to help him bring his vision into fruition. But when you don't do that and then he messes up, it will go against you. For me, I believe you have capable individuals in the NDC that can stand in as a flag bearer, but it will be so perfect if after 4 years the NDC was able to deliver. Whoever you brought on board, imagine they are bringing someone like Okujeto Ablakwa, you know his track record. They are bringing someone like Asedu Nketia, you know his track record. They are bringing someone like Ato Forsen. Nepano personally, he is good. He has been able to deliver based on the office he has been handed or has been given over to him, right? And then his government also performing excellently well. Asan?
Right.
You don't need to struggle.
Right. Miss China, your thoughts?
Yeah, so per my understanding, what he's trying to say is what the NPP faced during the previous administration. That is, they bringing Dr. Bawumia on board. The NDC should be ready to face the same thing, because the popular guy is John Dramani Mahama, and very soon he would be leaving office. Now, it would challenge the NDC to work harder to introduce a new face. And introducing a new face is very difficult because everyone is used to John Dramani Mahama. And as it stands now, we don't know who the NDC are bringing on board. And mind you, before people would accept what you are bringing, it has to go through a whole lot of tutorials. That is branding, marketing, and all of that sort. When past President Akufo-Addo was in power, they had already started campaigning for Dr. Bawumia. So people were getting used to him. So during the elections, people already knew him, knew what he's capable of. So that goes to the NDC also. Before you bring someone on board, it's not only about the political, should I say, maybe political marketing. When it comes to political marketing for these people, the only thing, or branding or anything, the only thing these people are focused on is the billboards, the campaigns, the t-shirts, the caps, and all of that. Oh, and Mehu Mahama, or t-shirts, so yeah, the Dr. Bawumia to cap, so that is not the real marketing. When you talk about the real marketing, it has to do with what the person has, how the person is capable, what the person can do. So between these two people, the challenges the NPP faced, the NDC should be ready to face that same challenge, because we are yet to see who they are bringing on board. And I also think that with the change of phase, it is very good, because everyone is so used to John Dramani Mahama. He has been on almost all the ballot papers for quite some time now. So it would challenge the voters also. When it comes to the voters in general, we are swing voters. We vote based on what we know, based on what we can do. So with the NDC, this would be a challenge, but we just hope that they can pass through it.
They can pass through it. Right, let's look at our last news item briefly. Completing all Agenda 111 projects unrealistic. Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando says it is not realistic for government to complete all the hospitals under the Agenda 111 program within a short time frame. He explained that the scale of the project, over 100 hospitals combined with funding and logistical challenges, makes full completion difficult. The Agenda 111 initiative was launched under former President Akufo-Addo to improve healthcare access, especially in undeserved areas. However, Mr. Akando noted that the project are at different stages, some nearly complete, others still at early phases, meaning they will require varying levels of time and resources. He stressed the need for a realistic and phased approach rather than promising timelines that cannot be achieved. Despite the challenges, the minister assured that government remains committed to improving healthcare infrastructure and will prioritize completing key projects where possible. So this is from Kwabena Minta Akanto, our health minister. He says that it's very unrealistic. I must say, he's being very honest that completing the agenda 111 day, let me be honest with you, is very unrealistic. Miss Regina, he said rather than giving you a promise, let me tell you the truth. That one day we cannot complete all because they are at different levels of completion.
I will take it from two aspects. First off, it's understandable that they would not be able to complete the Agenda 111 project. They might do some, but not all.
But not all.
Looking at the fact that they are a different administration, we are not saying that if an administration starts something, the other administration coming up shouldn't complete it. They have every right, and it is a mandate, and in fact, it is their responsibility to complete whatever project that has a... Oh,
take your time, honey.
Eh?
Take your time.
That has been started, because at the end of the day, it's taxpayers' money that is involved. And also, they also have their policies. They have what they want to do, what they want to achieve at the end of 4 years. So Somoka said they are concentrating and using all the resources on the Agenda 111. They would lag behind. And Ghanaians will be the same people to blast them. That's when the NDC government came. Agenda 111 na MPP first start here, and no mube we no campaign MPP for na we will blast them. That one is true. And looking at the other aspects, I think I've forgotten the other aspects.
Miss Debbie.
So the Minister of Health is trying to be sincere. Okay, I like the fact that he said it without telling us lies, because I mean the media we are watching. I always say we are watchdogs. We will ensure that whatever you say, we put you on your toes and then you do it. So imagine he gave a time frame. As for my government, why you don't trust us? By the end of 2027, we'll complete our Agenda 111 project. When we so I like the fact that he's trying to be sincere to us. Listen, yes, in as much as this Agenda 111 project is so significant to us, and then we need to complete it at all costs. But let me be sincere, we can't. So yes, they said they'll complete 90 of the Agenda 111 hospitals. They will ensure that the hospitals that are being completed and they need the equipment, they are going to resource those hospitals with the needed equipment, and the ones who are at the verge of completion, they will complete it. As simple. He is being sincere to us, and I like the fact that he did that. He didn't give a time frame. He didn't give anything that will put him at a tight corner. So the Agenda 111 project is so significant. Yes, we are all looking forward. We will be happy that at the end of the day it will be completed. But don't forget that even the NDC, before coming into power, they also made promises. They are supposed to ensure that their promises are fulfilled. So if they want to complete all the Agenda 111 projects, it means they are also going to leave power without completing their own projects. And whoever comes on board has to take the burden of or the cross of the NDC, which I don't think they will want that to happen, because they are trying not to walk in the footsteps of the previous administration.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us on the news review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 1873. Outbreak of the Third Ashanti War in Ghana. Tensions between the Ashanti Empire and the British Empire escalated into an open conflict, leading to the Third Ashanti War. causes of the war: disputes over trade control and political influence along the Gold Coast, British expansion into territories claimed by the Ashanti, an ongoing rivalry between coastal states aligned with the British and the Ashanti. With the key development, British forces launched a military campaign into Ashanti territory. The capital, Kumasi, was invaded and later burned in 1874. The Ashanti suffered significant losses in power and influence. To the outcome and significance, the war ended with the Treaty of Formina. The Ashanti Empire was forced to pay a large indemnity to the British, renounce claims to several southern territories, and it strengthened British control over the Gold Coast, paving the way for full colonial rule later on. Moving on, the 1993 start of Eritrea's independence referendum. The independence referendum took place from April 23rd to 25th, 1993, following a decade-long liberation struggle resulting in 99.83% votes for independence. Over 1.1 million citizens voted, with a 93.93% turnout, leading to formal independence from Ethiopia on May 24, 1993. Looking at some global observances: English Language Day, to honor the birth and death anniversary of William Shakespeare, established by the UN in 2010. It promotes cultural diversity, multilingualism, and celebrates English as a global lingua franca spoken by over 1.5 billion people. It highlights literature, history, and international communication. International Girls in ICT Day, observed annually on this day, is a global initiative led by the International Telecommunication Union to inspire girls and young women to pursue STEM careers. It aims to bridge the gender-digital divide by promoting digital skills, leadership, and education, empowering them to thrive in the technology sector. Love Your Thighs Day, an annual body positivity event observed on this day to encourage women to embrace, celebrate, and feel confident in their bodies, regardless of shape or size. It promotes self-love, combats unrealistic beauty standards, and marks the start of warmer weather, often addressing themes of comfort, strength, and embracing curves. Lastly, Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day, to expose children to the workplace, bridging the gap between education and career possibilities. It helps kids explore future goals, appreciates their parents' work, and promotes gender equality in professional opportunities. And that's all for today on Today in History and Some Global Observances, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and Some Observances of the Day. Well, let's have you, Miss Debbie.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. The Teacher Trainee Association of Ghana has called on government to immediately suspend the ongoing teacher recruitment exercise, citing what it describes as unfair and distressing conditions for trainee teachers. At a press conference, the association listed the suspension as part of 5 key demands it wants urgently addressed, warning that failure to act could trigger nationwide demonstration. The Teacher Trainee Association of Ghana argued that the limited number of vacancies, about 7,000, has worsened the situation for many trained teachers who have remained home for years without employment. The group expressed particular concern over what it described as a troubling precedent in recruitment process where 3 separate year groups are competing for the same 7,000 slot. This situation has deepened the woes of teachers who have been at home for years, the association noted, adding that the current arrangement risks sidelining many qualified graduates. The Teacher Training Association of Ghana further warned it will not hesitate to mobilize its members across the country if government fails to halt the process after the expiration of its ultimatum. The association is also urging government to engage stakeholders and implement a fairer distribution mechanisms that reflect the growing number of trained teachers entering the system each year. So all this boils down on unemployment in Ghana. Unemployment. It's quite sad, you know, for you to go to school for 4 years and then completing school for 4 years and you don't get employed. I mean, any graduate who is freshly admitted in school, the only thing you have in mind is to study hard, graduate, get the best grade, and then get employed. But in a case where you go to school for 4 years and then after that you don't get employed, I mean, it brings a lot of frustration. You don't even know whether you are moving forward or you are retrogressing. And trust me, if you don't have parents that understands the system in which we find ourselves, if you don't have parents that understand how difficult it is of late to find a job as a graduate from the university, you are going to die before your time. I'm telling you the truth. You are going to die out of frustration and out of depression. The most funny aspect is that they don't tell you the truth when you get to the university. No teacher will tell you the truth. That is very difficult out there. It is after you are done, graduated, and then you hit on the street to look for a job. That is where you understand how difficult it takes to get employed in Ghana. Employment issue, it's something that should have been in the past. Unemployment shouldn't be something we should be talking about now. Now that we are old, Ghana is 60 years, right? And I'm 69. So Ghana is 69 years, and we are still grappling with unemployment. We are hitting our heads on the walls, trying to get a solution for unemployment. We shouldn't be talking about unemployment. You see, sometimes I find it quite sad when I see our people. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. The government is in collaboration with other African, not only African countries, the Western world as well. And then what they do now is that since we don't have the capacity to employ a lot of people, especially the health workers. So this is what they do. They pick people that are eligible. You write some tests, and then when you are qualified, they send you outside the country to work with other countries, other firms. That is, that tallies your profession, especially with the health sector. They do that a lot. I think recently I saw one too. That Ghana is in agreement with other countries where they transport or they take out our health workers to other countries to work. And that is the main reason why a lot of graduates, when they are done with school, they want to travel. Why? Because they see opportunity in other countries. It is only here that we struggle to get a job. So it's simple. If we've realized that we cannot employ graduates any longer, then why do we admit more than we are supposed to take? When you go to the university, 1,000 plus in one lecture room. Sometimes 2,000 plus. And And then we have about millions of students graduating each year. You pay for fees, you pay for your hostel, you pay for your handout, practicals you have to pay. You are being given assignments and it involves you collecting data and surveying. You have to pay for it yourself. Sometimes we have students traveling to other villages that just to collect data. You pay for it. And then you go through all the struggle. The most painful aspect is you writing your project work at level 400. You can even die if you're not careful. And then when you are done with all this, you don't get employed. And then you are in the house. You don't even know what your life is about. Like you are confused. And then only for you to get an assurance from the government is saying that they are employing 7,000. Which means that if you are being in the house for 3 years, so this is what they are saying. Someone that completed school, say in 20. So let me not just go too far. Maybe 2023, 2022. Will now be competing with somebody that graduated in 2025 for the same slot. For the same slot. And the most painful aspect is that we have schools that are struggling to get a teacher. Omunibi. And one teacher is taking like 6 courses. We have teachers who go to school and then they are trained based on a subject. And that is common when you go to the senior high schools. We have a teacher that is so for mathematics, English, social studies. But when you find yourself in a school where they are struggling with teachers, you just need to sacrifice. And so you see that one teacher teaching all subjects from crèche to P6, from P6 to JHS 3. And he's doing that alone. So we have a lot of schools that are struggling for teachers. Why don't we want to employ them? Now we are saying that we don't have the money. We don't have the money to employ them. That is what they're trying to say. We might employ you, but would you be happy if we employ you and you don't get paid? No. So the best thing we can do is that we are going to employ based on our capacity. So what happened to the rest of the teachers who wouldn't get employed? And don't forget that out of this 7,000, part of it will be protocol based. And the question still remains. What of the remaining teachers who wouldn't be paid? Does it mean that their life has come to a standstill or there are still other alternatives? This is something that we need to deal with once and for all. If we know we can employ graduates as simple as ABC, then you give notice to all these training colleges or universities. Maybe in a year you should admit like only 100 students, 200 students. Then we know that is based on the capacity of the government. And for me, I will not stop saying it. As a government, you have no right to tell us that you can't employ us because you don't have money. Well, you don't have money, say. It is your responsibility. Just like the way a child see no reason why he saw her dad to tell her that Miniska or daddy buy me biscuits and you're telling me you don't have money, like how? You need to buy me that biscuit. That is the mindset of a child. But they have no idea the parents has to go to struggle and all that. As a government, it is your responsibility to create enough jobs to employ your people. So if the jobs are not being created, it is on your shoulders. You need to do it. The more you create the jobs, the more you employ the people. We are increasing. The population is increasing. So it should tell you that if Ghana we used to have a population, say 1 million or 1,000. We are now in a different era. And then people are giving birth. You cannot tell somebody to give birth to 1 or 2. I know you're on any decision. So it should tell you that the population we are increasing day in, day out. And so long as the population is adding up, we need to also upgrade and then create more jobs to suit the population. But when we don't do that, then what are we saying and what are we doing? Well, for me, then you have no reason to tell me that you can't create jobs. You need to create them. That is your responsibility. And so long as you create them, you employ the people and you pay them. Why do we go to school? Because we want to acquire knowledge. That's nice. But we also go to school because we want to improve the condition of our living standards. If going to school doesn't pay, I'm not sure we'll all enroll to be in the classroom. So please, let's do the needful. Thank you for making time with me on the Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that girl. And thank you too for joining us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news, and right after the news, we'll be back with the main segment, with the second segment, Stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
It's 8 o'clock. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Health Minister Kwabena Mintah Kando set 2-year target to deploy 2 doctors to every district. Minerals Commission vows tougher penalties for mining safety violation. National Petroleum Authority Chief Executive Officer proposes single distribution fund to replace UPPF and PDM. Also coming up in the news, Okankwe North Municipal Chief Executive urges private sector backing for 24-hour economy to drive jobs. Also coming up, economy face significant slowdown in liquidity expansion in 2025 by the Bank of Ghana. These and many more coming up your way shortly. To our first story, Health Minister Kwabena Mintah Kando says every district in Ghana must have at least 2 doctors within the next 2 years as part of effort to improve healthcare delivery in underdeserved areas. In his explanation, he said the lack of doctors in rural and deprived districts remains a major barrier to quality healthcare access. He affirmed his office's commitment to work with the Ghana Health Service, medical schools, and the Ministry of Finance to roll out incentives and postings to meet the target. The initiative will prioritize districts with no permanent doctors and areas where 1 doctor currently serves large populations.
We have 8 regions we've categorized as underserved regions. Now in 2024, only 12 medical doctors accepted postings into the 8 regions. 12 per our records. 8 regions. No, entire region, and not 12 per a region. For a region, it's 12 for the entire region. So even if you want to have 5 districts, multiplied by 8 is about 40 districts, and they obviously have more than 5 districts. 12. Okay. Now when we took this decision, I mean, there was a lot of backlash. We will leave the country, we will do this and all that. As I speak to you now, we have about 100 people who have gone to these same 8 districts. We are not even done. Now, after this free primary health care and what is in the system now, we are going to issue a statement. Those who have not accepted the postings, we are going to deprive them of that opportunity and open up. And even if you completed yesterday and you are a fully qualified medical doctor and you are willing to go, we'll give you the opportunity to go. This is what we are going to do. This will work. You see, you have to identify your problems. Now I have to check specifically with OT. East Savannah, Upper East, Northeast, Western North, OT. Yeah, they are the eight regions. So at the moment we have districts until this, attempt. There were districts in this country without a single medical doctor.
Jesus.
So my target is that give me 2 years. Every district in this country, because I cannot fix all the roads. I'm not minister responsible for roads. I'm sorry. I cannot fix all the water problems. I cannot fix all the, the light problems. But it does not also mean that I should not work. In 2 years, every district must have at least 2 medical doctors.
At least two.
At least 2. I said that district without doctors. They are other people, So now people have reported, and sometimes, and I have come under intense pressure. This is our country and issues of protocol and what have you, and people come and know who they want to you supposed to be trying. You will not want to be in my position.
By the way,
not all.
Minerals Commission Chief Executive Officer Isaac Andrew cautioned mining firms about harsher penalties for safety violations on their concessions covering breaches by subcontractors. Mr. Tando said companies can no longer claim ignorance of breaches that occur on their site. He emphasized how safety shortcuts threaten workers, communities near mines, and investor trust in Ghana's mining sector. The Minerals Commission says it is tightening enforcement and compliance monitoring across all mining operations. Mr. Tando indicated that a new approach would target recurring lapses in protective equipment use, pit safety, blasting protocols, and environmental safeguards. He urged mining firms to audit their subcontractors and invest in safety training.
A single catastrophic event, a tailings spill, a fatal collapse, or a child labor scandal can wipe out decades of shareholder value in less than 48 hours. So when a mine suffers repeated incidents, multiple things can happen immediately. Insurance raise their premium or withdraw coverage, and investors begin to talk or ask difficult questions around the boardroom table. At worst, the mine can be shut down, and then impacts livelihood and economies. A mine that cuts corners on safety is a mine that is building a mountain of liability, and no investor wants that. If your partner operates unsafely, you are responsible. If your contractor ignores environmental protocols, your permit is at risk. We have seen too many cases where a principal company claims ignorance whilst a subcontractor cuts corners. The excuse no longer holds. The Minerals Commission holds the license holder accountable for every actor on their concession. This is our position. Maintain SHE standard across all partnerships and be prepared to bear the full weight of the law.
National Petroleum Authority Chief Executive Officer Aduji Tamaklo says proposed legislation to amend the MPA Act 2005 will merge the Unified Petroleum Price Fund and the Primary Distribution Margin into a single distribution fund. Mr. Tamaklo spoke at an engagement with Parliament Energy Committee outlining plans to streamline petroleum pricing mechanisms and improve efficiency and product distribution nationwide. He explained the consolidation aimed to reduce administrative layers, enhance transparency, and ensure uniform cost recovery across the downstream petroleum sector. The CEO told the committee the amendment will also strengthen the National Petroleum Authority's regulatory oversight and support timely payment to bulk distributors and transporters. The Energy Committee is expected to review the draft legislation and submit recommendations in the coming weeks.
Over the period,
The authority for the past 20 years plus has been implementing the UPPF as a subsidy mechanism in order that the true impact of freight costs is not transferred to our people. So that is a major thing that the authority supervises. I've noticed that in the new MPA, the bill, I usually call it the NAPO bill, he together with my brother Collins put that bill together. It tries to bring two things together, the UPPF and the PDM. PDM simply means the depot-to-depot transfer. It also comes with a cost. We absorb that cost through the PDM, that's the primary distribution margin. Now, the bill that will be laid before Parliament soon after consultation tries to commingle both the PDM and the UPPF in now what is called the distribution fund. Then the boss margin, among others, will go into what is now known as the infrastructure fund. So the bill that is under consideration in terms of stakeholder engagement will now be establishing these two funds.
The Municipal Chief Executive for Kankwe North Municipal Assembly, Christian Tete, has called for strong private sector involvement in government 24 economy policy to boost jobs and productivity. Speaking on the initiative, he said the policy aimed to promote continuous economic activity, improve infrastructure use, and expand employment opportunities across the municipality and beyond. He noted that sustained operations in manufacturing, services, and retail require deliberate partnership between government and businesses to unlock tight time economic potential. Mr. Baja assured firms of stable electricity supply to support extended shifts and nighttime operations, stressing that power reliability remains central to the policy's success.
Economy. Within Kankwe North, the Assembly is committed to complementing EE's national efforts with targeted municipal interventions, particularly in water and sanitation, roads, health, drainage, and local economic development. A major pillar of government's economic transformation agenda is the 24-hour economic policy. This policy is designed to unlock the full potential of our economy by encouraging continuous productivity. It aims to create jobs, enhance industrial output, and maximize the use of existing infrastructure. However, the success of this initiative depends largely on the private sector. Corporate bodies must take advantage of this policy by expanding operations, investing in the innovation, and creating employment opportunities that are extended beyond traditional working hours. This is where your leadership becomes critical. Let me take a moment to address a key concern for business electricity supply. It is important to state clearly that the current situation is just as not what we know it to be. The era of persistent and unpredictable outages is a thing of the past. Government is firmly in control and continues to ensure stability in power supply to support economic activity. Reliable electricity is essential for productivity, and government remains committed to sustaining and improving this stability as part of the broader development agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, governance is not the sole responsibility of government. Corporate bodies play an indispensable role in shaping the economic and social landscape. Beyond profit making, your institutions contribute to governance through job creation, investment in communities, promotion of ethical business practices, and support for national development goals. Your influence extends beyond your balance sheets.
You are key stakeholders in development of this municipality and the nation at large. The private sector remains the engine of growth and innovation. I must commend the various development initiatives undertaken by many of your organizations, ranging from educational support and skills training to health interventions and community development projects. These efforts are impactful and appreciated. However, there is a need to strengthen coordination within government. When corporate
In business, annual growth in broad money supply decelerated to 16.0% in February 2026 from 33.1% in February 2025, marking a significant slowdown in liquidity expansion. According to the March 2026 monetary policy report by the Bank of Ghana, this outcome reflected a decline in contributions from net foreign assets, while the contribution of net domestic assets remained moderate, consistent with low liquidity creation in the banking system. This primarily resulted in a low money circulation, affecting credit expansion and growth in the real sector of the economy. According to the report, the contribution to overall liquidity growth declined markedly to 5.7% in February 2026, compared with 27.3% a year earlier. The report also stated that the contribution of the net domestic asset to growth increased to 10.3% from 5.8% in February 2025. This development was largely underpinned by increase in net claims on government and other items. On the other hand, the contribution to the net domestic asset growth was 3.2% in February 2026, compared to a contribution of negative 0.7% a year earlier, reflecting in part an increased preference for government securities by the banks. Other items accounted for 18.5% of the growth, compared with negative 5.2% in February 2025. These upward pressures on net domestic assets were, however, partially offset by a decline in contribution of claims on the private sector during the review period. To sports, the administrator of the Ghana Sports Fund, Dr. David Kofi Malvi, has reaffirmed government commitment to strengthening technical development in sports following a working visit to the Ghana Man's Soccer Center of Excellence. The visit, which took place on Sunday, brought the fund's leadership face-to-face with a new generation of coaches undergoing intensive training at the facility of engagement. Dr. Waku described as both encouraging and instructive for future of Ghanaian sports. At the center of the training program is Coach Odu, working alongside Coach Ogu, who leads a cohort of approximately 24 coaches. The group includes former national team players as well as notable number of female participants. Dr. Awuku used the engagement to assure trainees and management that the Ghana Sports Fund is in alignment with its policy framework to support technical education with a strong emphasis on coach development. According to him, provisions within the fund's legal framework already make room for sustained investment in such initiatives. He revealed that plans are in progress to expand financial and technical support for coach training, both locally and internationally, describing it as a critical intervention that will directly impact Ghana's competitiveness on the global stage. The administrator further encouraged the trainees to remain committed to their professional growth, stressing that improved support structures are on the horizon. Dr. Waku also commended the leadership of the coaching team and his colleagues for their dedication and role in nurturing the next generation of technical experts. Beyond Pram, the Ghana Sports Fund has outlined plans to embark on a nationwide tour of sports facilities, academies, and recreational centers. The initiative is aimed at gaining first-hand insight into the current state of sports development across the country. The visit to the Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence is expected to mark the beginning of a broader engagement strategy by FUND as it seeks to reposition technical training as a cornerstone of Ghana's sporting success. In showbiz, the highly anticipated E-Vibes musical band series is set to return this May, bringing it a powerful celebration of Ghana's thriving live music scene and the remarkable stories behind some of the nation's greatest musical bands. More than just a performance showcase, the E-Vibes musical band series is a compelling television experience that focuses on the journey of musical bands in Ghana. The series shines a spotlight on the passion, resilience, and unity that define these groups, offering viewers an intimate look into their rise, struggles, and triumphs within the music industry. At its core, the show is dedicated to celebrating and highlighting the incredible journey of Ghanaian musical bands. Through in-depth storytelling, audiences are taken behind the scenes to explore how these bands were formed, the challenges they have faced over the years, and the deep bonds that have kept them together despite the odds. It is a narrative of perseverance, creativity, and the enduring power of collaboration. This season promises an exciting lineup featuring some of the greatest music bands in Ghana. From high-life legends to contemporary band sensations, the series captures the diversity and evolution of Ghana's musical landscape. To some global updates, Nigeria's Dangote Oil Refinery has reached a deal with Honeywell to use United States Industrial Group's technology to increase production of petrochemicals for plastics and detergents. The company said expanding 20 billion complex footprint beyond fuels and making Nigeria less dependent on import. The move is part of Dangote's wider plan to build an integrated petrochemicals business around Africa's largest refinery, producing industrial and consumer input locally while positioning Nigeria as a regional manufacturing hub. Dangote said it will use Honeywell's Oliflex technology to produce an additional 750,000 metric tons of propylene a year at its Lekki refinery, supporting plastics used in packaging, consumer goods, and industrial applications. The refinery will also deploy Honeywell technologies to produce 400,000 tons a year of linear, a key ingredient and detergent and cleaning product. Once fully operational, Dangote says its lab plant is expected to rank among the world's largest. Dangote's 2 billion petrochemical plant at the Lekki complex near Lagos, situated close to the main refinery with 830,000 metric ton capacity, also began producing polypropylene in March 2025 in 25 kilogram bags for the local market. Dangote and Honeywell have worked together for years on the main refinery, which currently has a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. Using Honeywell technology, Dangote plans to lift capacity to 1.4 million by 2028, a move Dangote says would make it the world's biggest refinery by throughput. And that's it on the morning news update. Do well to log on to all streaming platforms as well as logging on to our website at www.ghanatalksradio.com for more news updates. I am Deborah Adosu. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, number 1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, and as you know it, we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to be delving into the issues for discussion this morning. Remember that we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Joining me this morning in the studios, they say that real men wear pink. It's our Thursday regular guest, Mr. Ganip Dubik Stephen, a social commentator. Good morning to you, Mr. Ganip, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Miss Fiagudu. Root is enough.
You just say it's not Fiagudu.
Okay, so I shouldn't bring the root.
No. You know I don't like my English name.
You don't like your English name?
How are you?
I'm good. Change it.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
You look good in pink.
Yeah.
They say real men wear pink.
Oh, this one there. I'm just a man in pink. I don't know about the adjectives, whether it's real or just a man. So I am just a man in pink today.
But I look good.
Thank you.
You should give it to me after the show.
Okay.
Because pink is for women.
Then I'll wear your dress home.
How will you wear my dress?
I'll become Kofi Besia.
Welcome once again to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
Right, before we get into the issues, there's been a new development on the issue of the OSP. And I think yesterday, was it yesterday or day before yesterday, where the minority held a press conference. And this time around, it was a whole lot of issue where they made an allegation that the current administration wants to dismantle the OSP through courts and parliament. And also, another one has to do with them urging Supreme Court to actually quash the case challenging OSP prosecutorial powers. So as part of the issues that were raised during the press conference, this was what they said, quashing the case and also alleging that this current administration wants to dismantle the office of the special prosecutor through courts and parliament as well. What do you make of these assertions?
It is funny.
How is it funny?
Very, very funny. I think that one thing that we should be preaching is politicians having principles. I find that weird. The minority, didn't they say that Cheba for something, the MP for Menchia, where Napo was, when the OSP issue came up, he said that the OSP is not delivering, so they should quash it. Right? That's what he said. And today they are making another claim, or they are taking another stance. For what it's worth, who even took the matter to the High Court in the first place?
This current
yes, who took the matter to the High Court? To the High Court. Do you know who did?
It was one person. Is it Noah Adamte? No, that was to the Supreme Court.
Yes, the person who took the issue to the High Court for us to get here was a person working under Bawumia's office.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is it Ephraim?
Yeah, he's the guy who they said the rice something scandal. He's the one who took the matter to the to the
High Court.
High Court. So how can you say NDC wants to dismantle the OSP through MPP? Because the person was working under Bawumia. There's no way Bawumia will employ an NDC person to work under him. So does this make any sense to you?
So this is actually coming from their own camp.
Of course. You see, sometimes if you are in a haste to score political points on issues, you end up looking like a fool. And that is exactly what the minority has done. You see, one, the Speaker of Parliament, then when the law was passed, came out to say that he knew, or they all knew, that for the law to be operationalized or work properly, we needed to amend Article 88.
So if they knew, why did they fail to?
Two, their own former Attorney General.
Godfred.
No, not Godfred. Their old he's a gunman. Ayukweo too.
Okay.
Also came out and said the same thing.
So they actually knew.
They know, not that not that they knew. They know that you can say that the people I'm referring to are all in the past, like they participated in our politics in the past. The people there today knows that there's no way this OSP can function properly as we envisage without amending the Article 88.
So if they knew, then why then didn't they do what they had to do?
That is the unprincipled position that I'm talking about. And now, yesterday I heard, what do you call it? One MP from Ashanti region, I've forgotten his name. He was on Metro TV. Yesterday I heard except. And then why should the OSP now write to the Attorney General? Why can't the Attorney General give the fiat automatically? So I clinched and asked myself, the OSP survived the longest period under the MPP administration. The OSP was established in 2018. From 2018 up to 2024, how many years? That is almost 6 years. Then under this current Attorney General, it is 1 year and some months, right?
Yeah.
So something that you could have done in 6 years, you decided not to do. But you find problem for somebody who haven't done that same thing in a year and some months. Where's your principles? Where are your principles? Where are they? Because if you are principled, then you wouldn't criticize anybody. You will say that yes, we acknowledge we were supposed to do this and that, and we didn't do. But I'm urging you, I'm advising and admonishing you to do it. You don't take a stance and entrenched position and say because this person has not done it, he wants to dismantle it. So, and one funny argument that I hear is that the person who took the issue to the Supreme Court used to work with Justice Ramsay and in his chambers, and then for that reason there's collusion. There's a Supreme Court judge who worked under in Akufo-Addo's chamber. Yoni Kulendi. So if there's a political issue and it goes to the Supreme Court and they judge in favor of the MPP's position, is it fair to say that that decision came about because Yoni Kulendi worked under Akufo-Addo's chambers? Are they not supposed to have independent legal minds? In the same law firm, there can be opposing views on issues, opposing interpretation on the same issue. So what are they talking about? So the fact that you work at Ghana Talks Radio, that means that you don't have a mind on your own, and Pakwesi has to tell you everything that you have to do, or have to agree with you on everything that you have to do. No, it doesn't work that way. But we live in a country where common sense and principles is just now a secondary issue. It's no longer on the forefront of issues anymore. We relegate that to other side and pursue our political agenda rather than being principled. Sometimes I ask this question, that politicians, after your own politics, don't you want to be known for anything?
Something better.
You should be known for something. You see, when people mention J.J. Rawlings, people will say, oh, he hated corruption because he was principled in that. But if you are a politician and today you say this, tomorrow you have a contrary opinion on the same thing that you said, after your politics, what are you going to remember you with? Nothing. So I think that the minority just want to be heard, and they are making their usual press conferences. How do you admonish or advise the Supreme Court to ignore the Article 88 and quash the case?
So what happens if the Supreme Court decides to quash the case? Or
you see, it will be, I'm not saying that they cannot, but it will be the shock of my life, and I would read their ruling.
What would it be?
You see, Article 88 is clear. There's no two ways about it. There's no ambiguity to it. The message is clear. Even the OSP Act itself, there's section 4.2. It says, can you find me that act and read that portion for me?
Article what?
The OSP Act itself. I'm coming. I think I should have it.
Okay. I think I have it here too. The OSP's Act. You found it?
Yes. Okay. So the 4.2, the OSP Act 4.2.
4.2.
subject to clause 4 of the Article 88 of the Constitution, the office shall, for the purposes of this act, be authorized, underline the word be, by the Attorney General to initiate and conduct the prosecution of corruption and corruption-related cases, offenses.
Yeah.
B, it's future. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You will be 40, doesn't mean you are 40. You will be 28, doesn't mean you are 28. This act be authorized. You will be authorized. Will be authorized. Doesn't mean this act has given you authorization. Law is English. Law is English. If you go to the law school, the first thing they will teach you is English. Mm-hmm. Regardless of all the English that you've learned on earth, they will still teach you English again.
English.
So law is English. Nobody can tell me I'm not a lawyer, so I don't understand this.
I'm terrible for.
These things, when the Supreme Court put all these things together, mm-hmm. and they still say that the OSP doesn't need authorization from the Attorney General, I'll be shocked. And I would want to read and understand what they are saying. Not that I'm not saying that they cannot say. Maybe they have a superior argument to make if they depart from these things. You get it? I'll have to read and then accept their ruling. But I'll be shocked. So you see, the name be a diagro my with Muama Eyakaho. If the minority, when they were majority, can go to the Supreme Court at 12 and get a ruling at 2, then they will organize press conferences telling the Supreme Court what to do and how to judge cases. Who gave them that authority? Who gave them that mandate?
Right. So what happens to the cases that the OSP is actually pursuing? Because we have a couple of cases in court.
Yes.
Now.
I hear people make arguments that, even myself, I made that argument initially in the studio, that the the High Court decisions is not binding on other high courts. But that argument is problematic. I read extensively about it, and I have come to understand that my position I took that decision is not binding on other high courts. It's not wrong, but there's one aspect that I didn't avert my mind to, which is the OSP. In as much as the High Court's decision is not binding on the other courts or other high court, it is binding on the OSP. You understand? So, for instance, I'm a public official. I'm doing my job in Tamale. Then somebody takes me to Tamale High Court. Then the court says that I don't have the power to do what I'm doing in Tamale. I don't have the power to do what I'm doing, not just in Tamale. Then I ran to Accra to say that the Tamale High Court decision is not binding on the High Court in Accra. So I'm coming to do the same thing in Accra. You see, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Once the court has said that the OSP doesn't have the right, or it doesn't have the power, the authority to prosecute these cases, it is binding on the OSP. So the OSP cannot go to a different court and do the same job that the court is asking the OSP not to do.
So that means that he can't challenge the issue in Supreme Court.
He can challenge the issue in Supreme Court wherever he wants. Anybody can go to court.
Yeah.
I don't want to use as SOS. Anybody can go to court. But the issue is that, do you have the authority to do it? Have you been given?
So that's the same question they are going to ask him if he goes there.
Even if he goes there. You see, what the High Court did was not interpretational. The High Court, I've said this countless number of times, the High Court didn't interpret the Constitution. Yes, so your driver ni. What the car bonipa. You share or crata uni license. Any the work court, na court and say we need license and yeah. Kodemu view. What you say? And no kwa appeal. Oh, kwa appeal say when your license na I say oh kwa appeal no kwa yede.
But can it be a point where they give the OSP a timeline to finish the cases he's actually executing?
You can't put nothing. You can't put something on nothing.
So meaning he has to halt it.
It not just halt. It's not just halting. No. Huh? They have to start all afresh.
That's a lot of work.
Yes. They have to. Me, if I were a lawyer for any of the people the OSP is prosecuting, I'll be smiling all day. Because my honesty, the only thing I'll just do is go to the court and tell the court that look, Chama, we need to use all here. High Court and say new authorization or authorization on family.
Then that means that the OSP's work is just in vain.
Now who calls them? Now who calls them? And the argument that people have been making say why hasn't the Attorney General giving him
the authority to go ahead to prosecute?
When you learn how to drive, do you sit in your house for DVLA to bring you your license?
You go there.
You apply, right? Mm-hmm. So in this scenario, passing the law and establishing the OSP is like learning how to drive. Now he needs the authority to drive. Now he has to go to the what do you call it? The authority that is supposed to give you the license. Mm-hmm. What you say?
Yes.
If you want to register your business, do you just get the space, then register an accountant general will come to you and give you your business certificate. Mm-hmm. You go there. Mm-hmm. You apply for it. Mm-hmm. And you are giving. So why are we easy as a we want to break the law for the OSP, which I don't understand. I'm not against the office of the special prosecutor. Yes, I have had my issues as to how it was set up and the challenges or its inefficiencies. But it's mind-boggling for anybody to sit somewhere and then say that or make us believe that because it is the OSP, we can do whatever we want with the law, mm-hmm. and it should be fine because we are fighting corruption. So if somebody comes to steal from me and I catch the person is not armed or anything, and I murder the person, won't I be charged for murder? Mm-hmm. I'll be charged for murder. The fact that the person was doing wrong doesn't mean I have to use wrong method to correct the wrong that the person was doing. Don't we have a saying that goes two wrongs doesn't make it right?
Yes, we do.
So the OSP law was wrong or is wrong. Now they want us to keep the wrong law for the OSP to prosecute or to follow or prosecute people who are doing wrong things. Are we normal as a country? Bibi Hayen.
A flawed person.
Yes, we Bibi Hayen. If anybody argues like that, between the Bibi Hano. And sometimes it's funny how CLSOs wants us to believe that they are the repository of knowledge in this country. Niombe can be and I was a buying here. And I buy nine, yeah, they will rally the people again. Who cares? The right things must be done. I'm not against the OSP, I'm not against anybody there. But the right things must be done. Send your meme ya bonia. And I say, me bibi I am for come at the family quanson. Say, OSP no some brand on yeah. Mommy and family quanson, yen shembrani. Let's redo the law.
Right.
If we have to amend the Constitution Article 88, only the Article 88, let's do it. Regional capital, yeah. Is the whole system region. Also. They said they were doing it for development's sake.
Yeah.
Go to the regional capitals, the new regional capitals, and see if those regional capitals have been developed. Go to Oti region and see.
So what happens to the cases that have already been scheduled to be heard in court? Does that mean that those cases need to be adjourned for all of
No,
these?
he doesn't have the power.
So will the Attorney General take over those cases because the High Court has
I listened to Justice Sermsai the other time, and then he was saying that they are not going to take over the cases right away. Mm-hmm. They are going to wait for what the Supreme Court says. You see, and one funny thing about this whole MPP minority argument is that, have you noticed that from 2016 2017 up to 2024, every high-profile case involving the old administration, which was the NDC administration, was prosecuted by the Attorney General and not the OSP.
And not the OSP.
Have you noticed that? Atoforsen, Opuni,
yeah,
the Cocoa Board issue. That's the same Opuni, right? One lawyer, I think I've forgotten this man's name. All the high-profile cases, even the Sagleme housing, all the high-profile cases that was prosecuted by the Attorney General and not the OSP. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the executive wanted to have control over those cases.
Okay.
And we sit here and we kid ourselves to think that, oh, the OSP is independent. And then we make the argument that, oh, the Attorney General cannot be independent because
it's been appointed
by the president. Who appoints the OSP?
The president also appoints the OSP. That's one thing we are forgetting to.
So you see how funny we look when we make that kind of argument.
Exactly. So how independent are they in the first place?
The OSP and Tona say I took
yes.
The president will appoint him. And nobody was born OSP. You must go to school, pass through people's hands. People will have influences on your life before you get there. So it is not an independent institution as they are trying to make us believe. And this OSP officer, let nobody kid you. And you're gonna for at a point, the United States Embassy in Ghana wrote a letter to Parliament telling them to pass the law. You can find that letter on the internet. If you think I'm lying, search for it. I don't have it. If I have it, I would have shown you. But I've seen it. So at the point, this OSP thing, it wasn't just our might and our minds doing it. We had external influence. People were influencing us from their countries, from their embassies, to pass the law. So in a haste to fulfill our campaign promises and all these factors, we hurriedly went into this charade and passed this law, and then you use propaganda to make the people believe that it is independent. It is not. If the president appoints the Attorney General, and hence we are scared that the president is going to influence the Attorney General, it is the same president that appoints
the OSP as well. Well, there's been a growing concern that they should is coming from CSO, Anti-Corruption Crusader, and they are calling that the powers of the president should be decentralized when it comes to appointing anti-corruption bodies like their leaders. A body should be set aside separately for them to appoint these leaders, such as the Attorney General and perhaps the
body should be set aside.
Perhaps the OSP as well, so that interferences.
The body is not the building. Oh. They are going to be human beings in that body.
And you believe there's
who's going to appoint those human beings? Who will appoint them?
So then, what do we do?
Are we going to vote for those people? Who appoint them?
So then what do we do? What do we do?
I've always said this, our style of democracy won't make it possible for us to have these things that we are doing. If we want to do this thing, our entire democratic structure will have to be relooked.
Then we have a long way to go.
Yes, it is not an easy job.
Yeah, exactly.
That the CSO wants us to believe that,
to decentralize the power.
But it means that we have to throw away the 1992 constitution and do a fresh constitution.
But as part of the recommendation for the Constitution Review Committee report, they recommended that that those powers, the executive powers, should also be limited, so as the president cannot appoint these people, because it's limiting fighting corruption.
We are making a mistake. This country. You see, we have 3 arms of government: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Do you know who implements the law that is made by the legislature? The executive. The judiciary interprets the laws, by which means that the executive, what do you call it, work with the laws. Prosecution is one of them. Prosecution is vested in the authority of the executive. And until the Speaker of Parliament and then some court is a what I say. So the state, even the decision to prosecute somebody by the state is made by the president.
We have a lot of work to do as a country.
What I say?
When it
the
comes
decision,
to fighting corruption.
yes, the decision to prosecute somebody in this country, that decision is made by the executive. And who leads the executive, if not the president?
We'll actually find time and speak more on this particular topic. Yeah. So, yeah.
And it's we say free consultation. Also,
they have to come and see you. Social commentator and also a political analyst. Anyways, Mr. Dubik for you. Right, at this juncture, we are going to be delving into our main topic for discussion this morning. For our first topic has to do with the growing crisis within education sector that is quietly threatening the very foundation of the free SHS. That has to do with the feeding program. So across the country, senior high schools are struggling to feed students as delays in government funding, rising food prices and shortages in supply begin to take a serious toll. School heads say the situation is becoming unbearable. Many are running on debt, relying on credits from food suppliers, while others warn that if nothing changes urgently, schools may be forced to shut down.
Okay.
I don't think that you'll be happy to know that your ward is at school and he or she is not eating. And the only thing the government or the school can do is to send the children home to come home and eat their mommy's food. I don't think we want that. But how did we get here, Mr. Dubik?
We got here because we were lazy.
We are lazy again.
Yes, and we will continue being lazy.
So what should we be doing? What's the proper thing to do?
I would fault the government for not being proactive enough and releasing funds for them to get whatever they need to run the schools.
Could it be the sources of fund that could be the problem as to why it has delayed to distribute the money to the schools?
There's always problems with our source of funding in this country. There's nothing in this country that you could say we funded it without funding challenges. There's always been it. But over the years, there are things that we could have done as in policy to make sure that we don't have these things. The headmasters are crying.
Yeah.
Saying that, oh, you close down the schools, you do this, you do. There are schools in this country whose lands are acres left. They've just developed a few, and the rest they have acres left, doing nothing. What have we done as a state to make sure that we maximize the full potential of the lands the chiefs gave us to build these schools?
So that's one thing the government failed.
Yes. You see, it's not just the government, the headmasters too. The headmasters who are screaming today, they are part of the problem.
But don't you think that if the government doesn't give the go-ahead...
The government should give you go-ahead before you decide to do a garden in your school? Before you start a school farm? When they are making some small charges, teachers motivation, does the government give them authorization to do those things? Do they wait for the government to give them the authorization to do teachers motivation? There are schools that take teachers motivation. In 2012, there was a school in Brekuma. I won't mention the name of the school. They were taking teachers motivation as high as 150 cedis.
Motivation, and what is
teachers
that?
motivation, you need to motivate the teachers to teach your children.
But they are being paid.
But they still need to be motivated.
And was the government aware of it? And did they do anything to stop it?
Who?
Because that's extortion.
So you see, the point I'm trying to make to you is that when it comes to something into their pocket, they don't wait for government control, they don't wait for authorization, they don't wait for anything. They just do it. You see, there are lands. If the lands are not there, for a school like Kimbu, if Kimbu was, what do you call it, a boarding school, I wouldn't fault the headmaster for waiting for government to release funds because there's no food there. I'm not saying that you use the student for farm. When I was in school, we had school laborers. We had school laborers who would weed some portions. So the only time a student will weed is when he is punished. The school can employ laborers. Let them tilt the land, cultivate maize, tomatoes, this. School for don't mean need tomatoes, nina.
So they could have even sold some.
Of course. And made money. And made sure that they run the school properly. They wouldn't have to sit down and wait for, government to release funds. The school itself will have internally generated funds through these things. Imagine like a school has a poultry farm that can produce like 1,000 crates of eggs a day.
Meat.
Can the students eat all the eggs in a day?
No.
Won't they sell some? On Sunday, when they are eating the rice balls and the jollof and things, will they go to the market and buy chicken? Won't they take the meat from their own school farm and eat?
So getting your submission with what you have said, you think that this could have actually been a long-term solution to these problems?
This is what we have to do. This is what we have to do as a nation. And once the students are even there, the agric students can do it as use the farm as their practicals. We can even force it into our curriculum that agriculture is compulsory in our secondary schools. So that students don't see agric as punishment. Somebody in this country wanted to be president, and when they asked him of his opinion on agric, he said that agriculture was for poor people. Canada, Japan. How can you think like that? Because when you scan out need media now they call agriculture. But agriculture is the way forward. Today, I was listening to news this morning, and I heard the president say that there's a glut of eggs.
Eggs, yes.
So he has authorized that they should send some of the eggs to the secondary schools.
To the secondary schools.
Hey, secondary school, what making the eggs, Nina? We can actually can eggs. Eggs can be canned. You separate the yolk from the white. You keep it in separate cans where people like bakeries, bakers, they use eggs, right? They will buy. They wouldn't need to compete with us to buy the small eggs on the market. They will now buy the industrial one, the one that is canned. Then use it for whatever they want to do. We can start thinking of value addition and processing these food products. We can't just say that because there's glut, Monkoton Fankoma school for they can't eat all of it. And the headmasters are in the schools. All they know how to do is complain and wait for government. I don't get it. I don't get that. I've always had a problem with we shutting down schools because there's no food.
There's no food to feed the students.
It doesn't make any sense to me. When if you go to school like Afumai Secondary School in Ahafogo, so their land is big. And because they don't have any use for it, people are now encroaching on the lands and taking the lands from the schools. But if the land is fenced and then we demarcate like maybe 5 hectares, 10 hectares for agric, we are in the north, we want to plant millet. We are in the south, we want to do tomatoes. Even if the people in the north cannot make tomatoes, if the southern sector, if the schools do their tomatoes and stuff, They can do barter trade. You have millet, you have corn. Bring us bags of corn for what do you call it? A box of tomato. You get it? It makes sense. But this thing, we are just joking. To be very honest with you, we are joking. Because after this, the government will release funds. We will keep quiet for a year and a half. We will not hear anything.
Yeah, we won't hear anything.
Next year, we will hear the same thing.
Yeah.
Next year, we will hear the same issue. I'll come and sit here and we talk about the same issue. Next year.
Maybe even in the coming months.
Yes, we'll come and sit here and discuss the same thing.
And discuss the same issue.
We need permanent solutions to our problems.
Right.
Not patches. We don't have to put plaster on the wound. We have to make sure that the wound is healed. And to do that, we need thinkers. People who can think.
But you know, the previous administration was actually trying to mitigate this particular problem through the buffer stock, if I'm right. What happened?
And no man of Mushushu rice. I don't know the same people who brought in the Mushushu rice.
Which one is the Mushushu?
The Mushushu rice, the rice that was rotten. I don't know the same people who did it. You see, when you leave it to the buffer stock, they will do procurement. Procurement will go to party functionaries. Chop. How do you mitigate that? You see, the most thing, the right thing they should do is decentralize it. School bianco. You get it? Now think now this contract na mobi. A mobile bag no kojoma 150 cedis or baba beton buying 200 cedis. You get it? But headmaster na kojoma akoto onim say me koto mo kakra mi hia we kakra. It got to a time the students were eating only rice in the morning, rice in the afternoon, rice in the evening. Weren't you in this country?
Someone even had a code 011 101 001.
So you see, this thing has been with us. It is not one government problem.
Yeah.
It has been throughout government. So the best way to solve it is making sure we have a long-term solution. And one of the long-term solutions is that the schools that have lands should farm it. Not use the students, they should employ laborers. But make the students use those farms as practicals. You get it? They should go there, the agric students should go there and do their practicals on the school farm. Today, somebody will go to school, complete secondary school, say I did agric, and hasn't even seen how to operate a piggery. They don't know how to operate a piggery, how to even tilt the land, how the land preparation towards cultivation of maize. All they've read is the theory. They've not seen practically. And they finish this and they say me agric extension officer.
But do you think that decentralizing this whole system is actually the best choice? Because we are where we are today due to that, don't you think?
When they decentralize it for a year and a half, did you hear any issue? This issue, there's a genesis for this issue.
Yeah.
The issue is that Get Fund and the Educational Ministry is having problems as to how to disburse monies. That's where the problem has come from. If that hadn't happened, we wouldn't have heard anything. So the decentralization is good. But to fix it permanently, we need to make sure that these schools can sustain themselves when it comes to feeding.
Without the help of the government.
Of course. If you go to America, won't need anything like educational minister. They don't have educational minister. They have cluster area, Ablekuma area. Na nipa bako. Omo yini say one of school say Ablekuma area iso. That is what Educhum was. You get it? So if they are doing that and it is working for them, why can't we do that here?
We are different from them.
Oh.
Is it everything now works for them there that can work for us here?
We are tired of the way they run things.
We have different mentality.
We are tired of how they run things in this country.
Do we have a choice? We are in it already, so I think we can only make things better.
Yes, we can make things better if we decide that we need to put our heads together, put our political parties or our political stance or our political agenda aside and tackle the issues and not shift blames. And away in the BSA, and another way is also is in 1 year and the ESA. If we continue to do that, or money you get it.
Yeah.
All we have to do is come together and sort the issues out as a country. You understand?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Dubik. Joining us is Mr. Sharif Mohammed, the NPP Communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Mohammed, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much for the opportunity once again.
Right. It's good to have you. How was the demonstration yesterday?
Oh, it was cool.
Did they yield to any results?
Oh, I believe it will do. I mean, it is very important, and I think this is not for only the MPP. I mean, we all need that freedom of speech. So if we are seeing that thing is threatened, we have to take actions. And trust me, it's not only for the NDC.
But it's
MPP.
not the first time you are holding such a demonstration.
Sorry?
It's not the first time you are holding such a demonstration. You've held it before, and what did you do?
You see, so that is Ghana for us. You understand? You always have to act up when the government doesn't do things how they are supposed to do. You understand? And that doesn't mean that the government will sometime probably wouldn't repeat it again. But you again have to let them know that look, we are still on this, that this thing you are doing is threatening our freedom of speech. You understand? That's just a kind of an example to what my senior brother here was saying. That sometimes some certain things we don't have to just use the political factors. You understand?
Yeah.
But to tackle them as a nation, our democracy, you know, this is not so. Even this issue, you know very well that as we talk about it, the NDC are there and they are saying that we are doing nothing. They are saying that like the MOE and found. I don't know why they are saying so. Meanwhile, no one talks much than you. But this one is for us all. It's not for only the MPP. It's for us all. It is well.
They did a demonstration yesterday.
Oh yes, there was a demonstration yesterday in Sunyani, not in Accra.
Not in Accra.
Not in Accra. Yes.
Why in Sunyani anyway?
Why? Oh, the person that was
affected by this.
Yes, it was Sunyani MPP Communications Director, and you see, this issue we don't have to joke with it at all.
Okay.
You understand? We all can remember very well the previous years. I mean, the current government is a beneficiary of this freedom of speech. You understand? If not for the sake of the fact that the past president was very tolerant, then we would have apprehended a lot of people like they are doing today. You understand? So look, sometimes, I don't know, today this issue, I actually wanted to touch on it. When it was coming up, I was having exams, so I hadn't got the opportunity to speak on it. But it is sad. You see that? It is sad. I don't know. I brought something here.
But that wasn't
I know. But you know, as a nation, it's very important. I don't know if your production team can show it. The economy is hard, so I can't print it bigger. I don't have that money to print it bigger. The economy is hard.
Yeah.
It was Malik Basintali some time ago saying that the Muslim vice president in the country eats pork.
Did he design it or he just posted?
He posted it.
Or reposted it, but he didn't design it.
He posted it.
Okay, I see.
He posted it. You understand? If not for the sake of the fact that the president was very tolerant, how would we have taken
it? Earlier, but we've already surpassed that time.
You see,
so at this juncture, let's focus on the main issue.
It's very important.
Let's focus on the main issue. Okay.
You see that? well, I'll definitely jump on it again.
Don't jump on
this
it. Because I wouldn't allow you.
This for us all. It is very bad. It is very bad.
Right.
And the NDC is thinking that we are saying for ourselves alone. No, you are part of it.
All right. We are all involved.
We are all involved.
Let me ask you one question.
Mr. Dubik.
Pardon me, I just want to ask something. Have you been arrested for any kind of speech that you've made?
No, please.
have you been going to the radio? Have you been talking?
Yes, I've been doing.
Why haven't you been arrested?
Oh, you see, I know very well that maybe I haven't said something that will get me arrested.
So he said he hasn't said anything that will
yes,
get
yes,
him
yes.
So I'm coming. Why don't you admonish your own people to say things that won't get them arrested? You see, I'm coming. Hold on. This thing that you just showed, do you know why I was laughing? The fact that you decided not to arrest Malik Basintel doesn't mean that what he did didn't offend any law. Prosecution is discretionary. To prosecute somebody is the discretion of the Attorney General and the executive arm of government. So if I slap you today, or God forbid, I kill you, and the prosecution authority decide not to prosecute me, anybody that comes years after can take the file and prosecute me. Do you know that?
So you see, sometimes from my side, we look at the kind of way we analyze this democracy thing and this freedom of speech. Look, if we start to get people arrested on some certain things, look, you know the African man. If I do this a little bit and you threaten to arrest me, then I wouldn't attempt the whole thing again. And look, if this is not in our system, then how can we hold the government accountable?
How can we hold the government accountable? Exactly.
Can I ask another question?
No.
Do you know Kwakwa?
No,
please, Mr.
We'll jump on the issue.
Right. Let's get into the main issue. That has to do with free SHS. Our students are and our siblings are actually suffering. Some are not getting food to eat due to one or two challenges by the government. How did we get here? I mean, your government was trying to mitigate this particular
I love the situation. Way you asked that question, that how did we get here?
Tell me.
And that's a question I'll throw to the NDC government, that how did we get here? My brother here says something.
Does that mean that during your tenure we didn't see anything of that sort, of students actually being in that situation of not being fed?
So good. You see, the NDC government is claiming that they check to see some certain things and then they know the solutions for them. And that all that was happening in the previous government, they were bringing solutions and telling us that we don't know how to tackle some certain issues. Today we are here. They proposed those solutions and we are not seeing those solutions in action today.
What are some of the solutions they proposed?
Good one. So you remember some time ago with this free SHS, where sometimes time in time we do have some crisis in the food issues. You understand? And they were like, we don't distribute the food well, we are corrupt and all sort of things they were saying. You see, which we heard the government, the current President Mahama, in his campaign. How was he promising the people, the students, the parents, that he is going to make sure that, and my brother said it here, that they are going to give this money to the headmasters to buy rice, maize, sheep, whatever for the students.
But those will be perishable foods.
You know, yes. You know, listen to me. What have we done about this today? You understand? So the solutions they were proposing today, they are not putting it into action. Why? And today, if the NDC government is going to talk, they are going to say that we are equally having such problems. So you see the problem with our country. Instead of you to implement the solutions you were proposing, you are trying to do same thing the other one was doing, and you are saying that the other one didn't do things well. So who are you? What are your capabilities? The promises you were giving to the people, where are they today? Look, you see this food issue, and I overheard my brother. I didn't listen to the whole of
entire conversation.
Yeah, the entire conversation, but I heard a part where he was saying that he don't think schools should be shut down because of these food issues. I mean, we promised.
Should we get to that point where
we don't have to get to? We don't have to get to that point.
Exactly.
But if we are in that situation, what do we have to do? We've promised the people free education. The students are in school; they have nothing with them. What do they have to eat? What do they have? So the best thing to do is to let them come home and eat. That is it. Because without the food, how can the students learn? So you see, with the fact that my brother was also bringing up a solution, and it's very similar to the solution I was bringing here, and that's ensuring that at least the schools with the bigger lands, we ensure that our Greek students are on the farmlands, so that at least we don't always expect that, so that when it gets to times like this, at least we can sort ourselves out before government get us resources again.
Right.
You understand? But I can't say this and then allow what the MDC said to the people. And if I'm seeing these things today, I'll be surprised. Totally. I'll be totally surprised. We faced those issues as well, you know, and they were having problems of with this buffer stock system. You understand? Saying that we are not giving the children the foods they are supposed to receive, we are not giving them quality, we are not giving them this and that. But trust me, what I saw, I'm a beneficiary of the free SHS. Look, even if we don't get to change the foods we eat, but there is something to eat in a day, and that's the most important thing. You understand? Today the NDC government is here. They promised the people, the parents and the students that, look, this buffer stock system is not working so well. So today we are going to make sure that we easily give the monies to the headmasters, and that they take care of that. Today, why are you not doing anything about that? Why are you not doing anything about that? What are we seeing today? Without the food, how do we expect the children to learn? And why should my brother here say that it is not important, or he sees it unnecessary, or I don't know how he was describing to shut down the schools because there are no foods? Why are you saying so?
So you think they should shut down the schools if there are no foods? There shouldn't be any other alternative?
If there is an alternative, we take it on.
You actually
did I say that?
That was why I was asking to understand.
Did I say that?
And what did you say? You said,
I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
You don't know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Asin.
Because I never made any. I said we shouldn't have gotten here.
That's to shut down the schools if
that
there are no
has been
foods.
my argument since.
And he's saying that if there are no foods, what should the students be doing in the school?
I'm not saying that we shouldn't shut down. I'm saying we shouldn't have gotten here. It means that there are things that we could have done to prevent this.
My brother, the host was here. What I heard was that you don't see it for the schools to be shut down.
Carry on.
You understand? So what I am trying to say is that, what do we have to do if there's no an alternative? We all know, obviously, food is very, very important to our lives. And if it's not there, how can we, go on with our daily activities? Not at all. So if we're expecting the NDC government to bring those alternatives today, because they promised that. And if there's knowledge, the solutions they were promising in opposition, they are not able to implement it today, then what are they? What are they doing? So you see why we were saying that the free SHS is in danger. Oh yes, the free SHS is in danger. You came and said that the buffer stock system is not doing well. We are doing corrupt activities in that. We are not giving the children the quality they need, they deserve. And you proposed solutions. Today you are here saying that you are going to make the free SHS better. You promised the parents you are going to make it better. Today, earlier on, we discussed issues about how these children are going through a lot in this SHS with the fees that are being required by some schools. And today, it is food. And none of your solutions is coming in as a government. Why? Why is none of your solutions coming in? So you were just knowledgeable in opposition. Why is the senior high schools headmasters not receiving the monies to take care of the foods for the students? Why? This is very sad. And I don't think the government should go on with this. I don't think the government should be reluctant to this, because it is very important. Look, when we talk about the free SHS, the most important thing is what the students eat. Right. Because that's the very first thing. Right. So we don't have to joke with it. So the solution my brother was proposing is very similar to what I was bringing here, like I said. Yes, please. Yes, please. We have the schools. The school I attended in the north, we have a very vast land. You understand? So we and some we do, and some of them are for the teachers. Let me also encourage this. We have some teachers in the senior high schools where they do these farms for themselves on campus. We don't have to do that. Now we have our students there. They are needing the food. Let's turn this to the school's property, so that the Greek students can take care of it. So that instances like this, the school can sort itself out before the government comes in. You understand?
Thank you, Mr. Sheriff. Mr. Dubik, how was the buffer stock formally before the previous administration? How was it? How was it functioning?
You see, when there's a problem, you cannot take us back to a solution that didn't work. If it was easy, you said you were a beneficiary of the free SHS. Were you eating well in that school?
So
I'm coming. The answer, I know my answer.
If there is a solution, the solution was proposed though. Don't get us wrong. I don't know if you want to today kind of support the NDC government. The solution was proposed and used to promise the people.
Right.
So today, if I'm to say that we are expecting that solution to be implemented, and you are saying,
I'll get your reaction, please. Thank you.
Oh no.
The solutions were proposed just as your solutions were proposed. You also proposed a solution to the SHS perennial and food shortages before you came into government in 2017. It didn't work. Somebody else proposed something. Didn't they propose the free SHS and using the buffer stock to distribute food to them?
Okay.
That's what that was their solution to this perennial food problems in the senior high schools. You made a proposition too. It didn't work. Somebody else make another proposition. It doesn't work. And you now leave your proposition that didn't work to criticize somebody for his proposition not working. Are you not people the same?
Who is in government today?
No. You see, you are seeking to become government. You see, that is one of the infantile what do you call it? Argument that you people make all the time. Who is in government? Are you not people campaigning to be in government?
Continue.
What is the point in having Baumia if you people don't want to be in government?
You were here not too long ago.
I'm coming. You sat here. You sat here and made all your argument without proposing a solution. You only agreed with the solution I proposed. Am I lying?
I said it is something similar to that.
You cannot be.
Is it because you mentioned it? That means I don't have a solution.
You cannot be. You cannot be in our position and all what you do is criticize every day. Come and the government must do this. The government didn't do this. The government is supposed to do this. What are the alternatives? Right now you are sitting here talking because you want people to vote for you in 2028. Based on this issue alone, if this issue is the only thing that is going to happen from now to 2028, what will be your solution to it? And you want the people to vote for you based on that solution. You've not proposed any. But you sit here and comfortably want us to believe that it is NDC's problem. When under you had that same problem. It cannot be NDC's problem. It is Ghana's problem. It is Ghana's problem. And you failed at solving it. NDC is failing at solving it. So I cannot, for the best of better words, to say that because NDC is in power, I should ignore the fact that we have been trying to solve this position and just blame only the NDC. Who does that?
Did we start encountering this problem under the free SHS, or it has been a
legacy problem? You see, this issue has been with us, but it wasn't on this scale. You get it? We've had this problem too, but it wasn't on this scale. Nobody can sit here and tell me that free SHS didn't increase the number of students we have.
It did, massively.
You get it? Based on that factor, these issues were to be expected. What you say? So, my 5 it was fear. Now, one sans woman out of the animal would be here. What will happen? You need to increase the amount of food you provide for the home. And what did your government at that time do to make sure that the numbers that we were expecting in these schools will be catered for when it comes to feeding?
So was a lack of planning.
Did we really plan? Who did we plan this free SHS with? Who? We sat down, wrote it into a manifesto, and decided to implement it. We have had this free SHS thing, free education, in our constitution. But how did we even try to operationalize it? We didn't need political parties to help us operationalize this thing, no. We needed the Ghana Education Service to put a policy in place and submit it to the executive to implement it. This shouldn't have been a political campaign. This shouldn't have been a political something. This shouldn't have been a political, what do you call it, a policy being championed by a political party. No. The thing has been in our constitution. FKIP has been in our constitution for ages since 1992. So what was the Ghana Education Service doing? The leader of Ghana Education Service from 1992 up to 2016 that we implemented the policy as a political campaign tool. What were they doing? The Ghana Education should have had a policy plan in place, a policy document in place to just submit to any government who is willing to implement it. Did they do that? Who did we consult? Who did we consult when we decided to implement the free SHS? Who did we consult? It is an idea from somebody's bedroom that we wrote and decided to come and then implement. So see the challenges. None of these challenges would be happening today. And when we want to talk about these issues, the political actors, political commentators want to turn the whole thing into NDC, NPP. Me, I've experienced, I'm very young, but I've experienced a lot of things in this country. I've seen a lot of things. I didn't start following politics in yesterday. I've been at this since 2004. In 2000, I was too young to follow politics. But everything that happened, I saw. Including before holding gallon of fuel, asking people if they can afford. I saw that, but I was too young to participate in 2000. So this political thing, I've been in it for a very long time. So I don't come and sit here for political expediency. I come to sit here because I want this nation to work. And we cannot continue to do this MPP, NDC, today MPP this, tomorrow NDC that, NDC should have done this, MPP should have done that. I don't like that kind of argument. It flares me up.
Right. Mr. Sherry.
You see, first of all, no one is saying to my brother that he hasn't been in politics for long. No one is saying that at all. You understand? And you cannot tell me that today, as we sit here, we are not talking based on the interest of the nation. You understand? But we are talking about holding the government accountable. Don't try to say that we always consider these political factors and that the nation is not. If the MPP doesn't criticize the NDC, how will the NDC properly work? You understand? What are you saying right now? I am telling you that the NDC proposed solutions. Today, they are expected to implement the solution. Who is in government today?
But did you encounter such a problem?
I'm coming. Good one.
During your tenure.
Good one. You see, what we always want the people of Ghana to understand is that our previous government has some certain problems. That look, there were some issues that were hard for us to tackle because of what was happening at that moment. We all can attest to the fact that the first 4 years of the very free SHS, the first 4 years is so. Look, the students really enjoyed the policy.
So you started encountering the problem in the second.
That was the second term.
The second term.
Where we had the Russian-Ukraine war, where we had the COVID-19 and the crisis then. You understand? Where the government was supposed to focus on the lives of the people. You understand? So there were a lot of things that was up then. You understand? So we having the free SHS, where we're having the buffer stock system, making sure that at least daily there is something in the school for the people to eat, the students to eat.
But even with the
I'm coming. Let me make the point. Let me make the point. The NDC was there talking to the people with you, the social commentator, saying that the government is not doing what it's supposed to do. You understand? That not considering what was happening then. So today, if we are here and the person who was proposing some solution is in government today,
You are expecting me to ask you who to implement those solutions. You are asking me to bring the NDC or take the country back to 2024 and co or whatever, backwards to 2016 to make sure that the NPP solve that. No, we are out of that government. Today the NDC is in power. Unfortunate enough, they promised solutions. You understand? And simply what we are saying is that they should implement those solutions. The people are expecting them. The parents, the students are expecting them to implement those solutions. What is wrong with this? What is so partisan about this? Or are you trying to tell me that this is not fighting for the interest of the nation? Is that what you are telling me? That the MPP telling the NDC to implement the solutions they were given to the free SHS some time ago? Are you telling us that if we are asking that from them today, we are not speaking based on the interest of the nation? Is that what you are saying, my brother? Not at all. I don't know what your point is trying to mean.
Right.
You get that? Look, we always come here and then we try to elaborate some certain issues. You understand? So don't just, let me consider or compliment something you brought up, and you are trying to say that I'm basing on it to make my point. Or I don't know whether he was trying to mean that without his, I wasn't bringing in any solution here. I was just telling you that I have a similar solution, and that thing is very obvious enough. It's very obvious. Don't we have agri students in our senior high schools where it is obvious that they can put up these farms and those foods will be used to serve the students when situations like this come up? You understand? So I don't know why my brother was making such a point, to understand that going into the fact that they have been in politics for long, and that this is not a matter of being in politics for long. Not at all. What you are saying here, you are claiming that you are saying in the interest of the nation, and what I'm saying here is equally in the interest of the nation.
So if you were in their shoes, what would you recommend?
Good one. So we are saying that, look, with the solutions that the government was promising, they are very good and they would have helped so much. You understand? But look,
what
with
solutions
this issue,
are those? I'm trying to get you.
That's the decentralization.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
And I'm saying that I'm hammering on it. That is a very very good one that could really tackle them very well. You understand? Also, what we can do about this issue is that, look, we can get in touch with the Bank of Ghana and make sure that at least a feeding fund is raised.
A feeding fund?
Yes, please. Just for the free SHS. Because we know what will come up. You understand? We know what will come out in this, because we are not a nation that is having our economy, being very standard. You understand? So we should have some certain things, at least when these crises come up, it can sort them out.
Right.
You understand? Or moreover, we can have something like, even within the buffer stock, where they have some, let's say some 30-day food reserves.
30-day food reserve.
I don't know if you get me.
Yeah,
for all senior high schools, so that instances like this, and you know something, sometimes when we have issues like this, it's not only the senior high schools. There are some that will still be having foods, so that these foods that we reserved, it can be used to sort the schools that are lacking.
Right.
You understand?
Thank
So
you.
so we have a lot of things that we can bring up. And you, my brother here, how are you sure that all the things we are bringing up here, the government will easily take them into consideration?
Right.
If not holding them accountable very well.
Very well.
You understand? So you don't have to sit here and then someone comment your solution or something you have brought out, and you want to use it as something to say that your colleague hasn't brought up. Come on, why will you do this? No.
Mr. Dubik, would you recommend a funding fund? A feeding fund, sorry.
You see, before I go to that, give you an answer to that question. Your job as an opposition is not to hold the government accountable. That's not your job. The citizen will hold the government accountable.
Are we not citizens? So look at this. So
are you voting right now?
Some of these points, I don't know how to describe it.
When you are talking,
why would you say that the MPP is not supposed to hold the government accountable? The MPP, they are not citizens of Ghana. What are you saying?
Let me hear what he has to say. Thank you, Mr. Adivik.
sitting here and talking on radio isn't holding somebody accountable. You take your phone and check the meaning of holding somebody accountable. What we are doing here is criticizing. And it is different from holding somebody accountable. We will hold them accountable at the polls. You are not voting. What you are saying will not remove NDC from office, will it? You are just here furthering your political agenda.
Okay.
You get it?
When you are done. This is not a political agenda.
I don't like this that you're doing.
Oh,
when
continue,
you were talking, I was
continue.
right here. And
I'm sorry. Continue.
Thank you. So when you come and you make argument, and we tell you that your argument is flawed based on the experiences we have had in the system, then you turn that to mean that we are demeaning you. Then you have a problem. And when I say you, I don't mean you. I mean the political party you are representing today, which is the MPP. You get it? You said the NDC should have proposed solutions. They propose solutions, and the solutions they proposed, they should implement them. You implemented your solutions. They didn't work. You implemented your solutions for 8 years. When they came, that the first thing they did was the free SHS 2017. Now lie. Your solutions was for 8 good years. Somebody implement a solution for 1.5 years, and you say that I shouldn't talk about the one you did the longest. I should only talk about what they've done the shortest possible time. I said this to one of your guys yesterday. I don't do neutrality. I do honesty. When I come to sit here, I won't be neutral. Do you know why? Because when I'm neutral in certain cases, it means that I am not being fair to the issues. So I'll speak the truth, and wherever it goes, it goes. Right now, when a big man comes here and sees you as a young man and starts slapping you, and I say, oh, I'm neutral, I'm not supposed to say anything, am I being fair to you who cannot defend yourself?
Right.
I'm not being fair. So I'm not here to be neutral. I'm here to be honest. And when I look at issues, starting from the time free SHS was implemented up to today, the issues cannot be NDC alone. The problems cannot be on NDC's head alone. You also have blame. You have some of the blame. The feeding fund that he's saying, you were in government for 8 years. Why didn't you do it?
But do you think is the best
any kind of fund
solution?
You see, any kind of fund that will help mitigate these challenges is good. Me, I had a nephew. I always cite this example.
Yeah.
We will prepare banku from the house to go and give him the school. We did that if he completed KTI under your administration. So I'm saying this out of what I have experienced, not what I've heard. Free SHS feeding wasn't perfect under your administration. NDC didn't come and spoil it. You get it? They had challenges. The challenges has been from your administration up to today. So what we should be talking about is what do you call it? The way forward.
Reform.
Not what somebody said during campaign. You too didn't you say things during campaign that when you came you couldn't do?
Is their solution not a way forward if it is implemented?
You said certain things in 2016. That when you come you do. Where's the one village wonder? Where is it? Right. You said where are the factories? That you one village one factory. Where are they?
No one said one village, one factory. Don't come and mislead us here. No one said let me get that. Don't mislead the people. No one has ever promised one village, one factory here. Be clear, please. No one has ever promised one village, one factory. Be clear. Don't mislead anyone.
Conclude, please, Mr. Devig.
If I'm speaking, and I make a grammatical error, and you, the listener, decide to point to the grammatical error than the substance, the problem is not me. The problem is your comprehension.
No.
If the policy was one district, one factory, right? And out of me saying it, miscommunicated it by saying one village, one factory, does it take away the import?
How are you supposed to do? You are just supposed to make it clear to the person who is listening out there. Because the person can listen to it and get out.
I'm saying, does it change the import?
Oh, no. Someone is listening. You have to be very clear and come back. No, we are not arguing.
So
we are discussing. I just wanted to put you on the right track. You made the mistake.
Then keep quiet.
Right.
If you are not arguing, then keep quiet. Let me make my point. Whatever the case is, there was a promise of that sort that an area is going to have factories, right? It was to tackle what? Our industrial drive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did that policy work? There was a policy which was going to help us all year agriculture, which was one village, one dam. Did that policy work? So if you sit here today and you hypocritically say that because NDC made promises, every promises that they made must work. If it doesn't work, we find alternative solutions. Right? So what are you saying?
Right. We are just hoping that we don't encounter such a situation again.
There are challenges with the free SHS. There are challenges with feeding. We have to sit down and look for the solutions.
And as part of the reforms, you mentioned
doing the school farms, bringing back the school farms.
Right.
And what he also said, feeding fund. I don't know where he would suggest that we go find that money for the feeding fund. But I'm sure they are the same people.
I said the Bank of Ghana. You have to listen to me very well. You see the problem. You see the problem.
You let him finish.
You said Bank of Ghana should do what?
Continue. Conclude, please. Just conclude.
Bank of Ghana, money won't just fall from sky to the Bank of Ghana.
So you see the kind of way he is accepting solutions.
No, money won't just fall from the sky to the Bank of Ghana.
So that
no,
Bank
if
of
your
Ghana
solution is
cannot,
flawed, I must tell you.
So are you telling me
that
the Bank of Ghana cannot help? Bring a fund that will cater for that.
How would
what
Bank
are you
of Ghana
saying?
help?
So
How
are
would
you
the Bank of Ghana help?
So you see the problem
My
is
dear,
that you should have
pick the Bank of Ghana act.
See, that's
pick the Bank of Ghana
you
act
should have
and
signed
read
with
it.
me for us to look at the way the Bank of Ghana can
after the other.
intervene. But not to sit and say that the Bank of Ghana cannot. That means you don't want a solution to the problem. I don't know if you understand me.
If the solution is bad, I should agree with you.
The
because
solution is bad that the
Bank of Ghana should find money. Go and you see.
Don't
you
get
see,
my
I'm coming.
don't get
Bank
my
of Ghana.
statements wrong.
Do you know
I
what
said-
finding
I
money
said
from the Bank of
it
Ghana
is
does?
very possible that
But
the
finding money
Bank
from-
of Ghana can intervene
With
a
what?
fund. With a fund, don't get me wrong.
How?
Don't get me wrong.
How will the Bank
Don't
of Ghana
me
get
wrong.
funds
So
to intervene with
you
funds?
were
How?
here, Body saying that you don't even want to be neutral, but what will actually center on a solution for the nation.
I just
and
asked
I
you
am bringing
how?
a solution. No. The kind of way you are putting that out, you are saying that my solution is bad. You said it here.
It
That
is.
if
There's
my-
no two ways about it.
So good.
Bank of
good,
Ghana, Uncle First
good.
Canoe. Bank
So
of Ghana,
just imagine. So today, just tell us that you are in the shoes of an NDC communicator
I
and not
hate this.
because
I
understand
hate this.
something. Understand
Let's not go
something.
there. Let's not go
Understand
there.
something.
I really hate
Understand
this. I
something.
really hate this.
Because
okay.
Because
You can be MPP,
Miss
but I
Host,
cannot be
Miss
MPP.
Host, Miss Host,
You can be
It's-
MPP, but I cannot be
Miss
MPP.
Host, but you are telling
Is
us
there
that
a
you are a
crime?
social
It's
commentator.
fine.
Is there a crime being a
Miss Host,
It's okay.
I'm
if
asking
you are
is there a
telling
crime?
us
Is there a
that
crime?
It's okay.
you are
You can be MPP, but I
neutral,
cannot be
or
MPP.
you
It's
are
okay.
speaking for the country,
God damn
and
it.
Let's
someone
leave that.
is proposing a
Let's
solution,
leave that,
and you
please.
can sit without analyzing, without sitting
I just
with the
analyze
person
your thing.
to ask
It doesn't
the
make
person,
any sense,
and
my
you
brother.
are saying that
Your solution
doesn't
with
make
Bank of
sense.
Ghana doesn't make sense.
You
How
know-
would Bank of Ghana make funds for
you
free
know-
SHS?
you
For-
know-
for feeding?
you
How?
know-
Unless they
you know-
decide that
you
we
know-
want to print more money.
you know-
Unless
you know-
Bank of Ghana decide
you
that we
know-
want to print more money.
one-
How does the Bank of Ghana get money? By printing money. So you are telling us that it was okay. We printed money in this country and got our inflation to 54%. And you are telling us to do the same thing. What kind of thinking is this?
Right. Mr. Dubin, please calm down.
Maybe you were not affected
Mr.
by that
Dubin,
inflation
gentlemen.
54% because
Look,
somebody was
gentlemen.
feeding you. But we were feeding ourselves. Tell the inflation 54%.
Look,
What are you telling me?
Your incompetency to understand yourself as a social commentator has allowed you to sit here and say that a solution one has proposed is nonsense, that there is no sense in that solution, and that the solution is completely bad. You are completely incompetent as a social commentator,
Mr.
and I can
Sharif.
say that
Mr.
you are
Sharif.
trying to, in one way or the
Mr.
other,
Sharif.
to support the
Mr.
NDC government.
Sharif.
Do you know why I'm saying
No,
this?
listen
I
to
understand
me.
something.
Please,
he said it here.
Let him say
Let me
whatever.
make
Don't
my
stop
point.
it.
But
Let
that
him
is not allowed.
No. I'm
Where is not
incompetent.
allowed?
I don't
He
wait.
said it here.
I don't
That
think-
my
wait.
point doesn't make sense. He said it here. Allow me, please.
But I
He
don't
said
think
it.
it is
Allow me,
right.
please.
Is
I
right.
just want
You
to make
to
a point.
listen to me. I
want
don't
to make
think
a
it's
point.
right for you to put the statement in that.
So
say
he
that
was
someone-
right to say that my point doesn't make sense.
Is that how he put it?
He said my point doesn't make sense. So it is nonsense. Right? That was what he said here.
So
and I am telling him that his incompetence as a social commentator is not allowing him to understand perfectly the job he's supposed to do. Because if
when he's
I
done,
have put out a
when he's
solution
done, he should type the meaning
suggesting
of incompetence. I'm not sure he understands the meaning of incompetence.
suggesting
How can you say my incompetence in social
yes,
commentary?
yes, you are incompetent
When
as
I
a
come
social
here,
commentator.
you
I can
see,
say that.
opinions
No,
can
no,
become
understand,
incompetent too.
understand,
Opinions.
understand.
Me having an opinion. There's nothing to do. Opinion has nothing to do with competence or
you
incompetence.
as a person.
All right.
You
Social
as a
commentary.
person.
So
and
social
what you
commentary is
do.
not a job.
You
You've not
as a
given me a
person
job to
and
do.
Okay.
That you have to tell me that
Doing
I'm
it
incompetent
perfectly
in doing that job.
considers
All right,
competence.
gentlemen, calm down.
You can be
See.
called a
No,
competent
nobody
social
see.
commentator.
Nobody can hear you.
No,
No,
what I
let me
want to
let me be
understand
honest with you.
You know that he did
No,
very
no,
well.
wait.
He was very wrong.
Let me. Wait. No, wait.
What I'm saying is that-
Listen to me. Listen. Don't talk in the air. So let me tell you something. Please, let's calm down, okay? Let's calm down and have a very fruitful show. I think attacking personalities is not actually the way to go. So please, we are going to drop it here, and then we'll move into the second topic. We'll continue from there, but please, respectfully, we should mind our language and our choice of words. All right, thank you. Now, proceeding to our next topic, and this is from the Auditor General, and he's actually under fire for a transpositional mistake or error that actually happened in the final audit report, and a figure of 427 million Ghana cedis was reportedly attributed to a single public servant, Frank Oliver Bodo, as unearned salary, and the report suggested he had received this huge amount of money over a period between January 2023 and June 2025. But shortly after this, he actually came to apologize, and there's been critics and comments that this is actually a reputational damage to this gentleman, and is apology alone enough to clear that? Because mind you that the internet doesn't actually forget. Once you put the information out there, it goes just like wildfire and it's tagged on you forever. So do you think that the apology alone is actually enough for this gentleman?
Now, this is what you can call incompetence.
Mr. Yeah, I think with this we can agree.
This is what you can say it's
It
incompetence,
was
not
an
somebody airing his
incompetence
opinion.
from the Auditor General. I mean, that is actually the final report, and then getting to him, he said that it's a transpositional error.
So we all agree this is what you can
Makes
call
it-
incompetence.
yeah.
So this is what you can call.
And that is actually leading to a reputational damage of Mr.
What you did here was
he gave me
incompetent as a social commentator.
Do you want us to go back there again?
No, we don't. But he is taking it back.
Let's
he was taking it back with you. He was taking, and you were siding, you were nodding your head to what he was saying.
But we can agree that it's an incompetence.
So his act, what he did here.
Do you want us to go back there?
We don't. No. You
Mr.
were
Big.
nodding your head to it.
Mr. Big.
Bro, you see, one thing about me is that if you start this thing with me, everything that I will say, you end up rebutting. You won't say anything.
That's
I can provoke you to high heavens. You have no
No
idea
one
what
is
I can do.
provoked
I
here.
can provoke you
No
to
one
the
is
high heavens.
provoked
You
here.
see what I just said?
No one
you
is
see what
provoked
you see
here.
the way
No
the way
one.
you are reacting to what I just
No
said.
one. No.
You see what what you
Mr.
just
Sharif,
said?
Mr. Sharif, you let me listen to you.
Yeah. So
I know. Wait.
Go to the
I
issue.
actually know you have an agenda. Looking at your facial expression.
Don't tell me
No,
what
So
to
it's
do.
fine.
You can't tell me what to do.
It's fine.
What agenda?
It's okay.
What
You're
agenda?
not there
It's
yet.
okay.
What
It's
agenda?
fine. Let's
You've not
proceed.
earned the right to tell me what to do.
Our time is almost
you
up.
are not
so-
there yet.
All right, Mr. Big, let me hear.
And I'm
from
not sure
you.
you're going to be there in the next 10, 20 years. So just sit down.
I'm not going to be where.
No, get to a point that you tell me
Where?
what to do.
Gentlemen.
Get to a point that
Mr.
Do you know
Big.
who ordered me me around.
Mr. Dubi.
You know what I said?
Mr. Sherry.
Just sit somewhere.
Let's go.
Sit down.
That's simply what you are supposed to do.
Have you given me a job?
You are asked
Have you employed me?
Answer the
Have you
question
employed
or
me?
say something.
Did you invite me here?
Mr. Dubi.
I'm so sorry.
Mr.
Even
Dubi.
when you say it looks like I'm
Mr.
commanding
Dubi.
you to do
Did you
something,
invite
I'm
me?
so
Mr.
sorry.
Sharif.
I'm so
Please.
sorry.
Right,
Did
thank
you
you.
invite me here?
I'm so sorry.
Mr.
If
Dubi.
what I said looks like I'm commanding you.
Mr. Sharif,
I'm
that's
saying
that's
You
enough.
are supposed to answer what is put before you and not say
All right,
something
so
that we left.
can we have it
Thank
now?
you so much.
Right.
So nobody can mention incompetence again.
Mr. Dubi, please don't take us back.
But we are mentioning incompetence from
Let's go.
2012 to 2016, and nobody stopped him.
When you are
so
done,
if I'm mentioning
I'll read the meaning of
incompetence to you,
and align it with you being a social commentator, and you understand. Continue.
Mr. Sherry, please don't take us back there.
He
again.
shouldn't. I think he is leading that. You see.
I'm doing what?
Kindly make your submission.
This is purely incompetence. I've said it again. I'm sorry. But what is the synonym for incompetence?
Incapable.
Okay, no. Incapable in this situation won't help my case.
When you are done, I'll read it and let you understand how incompetent you are as a social commentator. Why I think
Mr. Sherry.
you are. Continue.
Mr.
Continue.
Sherry,
Continue.
please.
Are you done?
Oh, it's
Is there something
obvious.
more you need to say?
It's very
I can
obvious.
even see my time for you to read the meaning of incompetence.
Mr. Dubi, please, our time is unqualified, incapable.
Okay, so
incapable.
So this whole Auditor General issues, I find it very weird that the Auditor General will make such a mistake, and their mode of apology self doesn't even make any sense to me.
How is the mode of apology?
They wrote saying that they want to correct a wrong impression in the media. The media only reported what you did. So the media didn't create any impression. You created the impression. And how do you even correct that? It's now public record, so you have to withdraw the entire audit and resubmit the one that you've corrected.
Because that was actually the final report.
So what are they doing?
So what happens to the man then?
He can sue.
Yeah, because they are attempting to actually take legal actions to
He should.
sue the
Because that is the only way to clear his name. Because there are people who heard the reportage, who read the reportage, who have not heard this apology from the what do you call it? The Auditor General. There are going to be days, years to come that people will go and pick this Auditor General report and read it with that thing in without the apology.
Without the apology.
They wouldn't know if the Auditor General apologized or not. This thing is going to be a tag on him, his kids, his grandchildren, everybody associated with him.
So you think the best option is to sue?
The best option is to sue and make the court, make the Auditor General withdraw the entire audit and resubmit the edited version of it. After correcting the errors that they are saying happened, the transpositional errors.
Right.
Yes, transpositional errors happen when you do
for the numbers.
When you do what do you call it? Even
accounting.
Not just accounting. Like we have legal accounting too. When you do the legal accounting, you do transpositional errors. It is there. Lawyers admit that. Accountants admit that. But when it imputes on somebody's integrity, you don't do that by just writing a letter or a press release. But you go back and correct the issues. How long has the Auditor General known that thing was wrong?
But can we just say that it's just a mistake, because it's actually a final report, and I believe it has passed through many hands before even getting there. Did they not see this before reaching him finally?
A mistake that assassinates somebody's character. It's not just a mistake. You get it? It cannot just qualify as a mere mistake, and for the fact that it is a mere mistake, we should let it go. We can't let it go. The Auditor General must set up, do things properly, because you see, the Auditor General is an institution that its integrity has never been questioned though. Until now. the integrity of the Auditor General has never been questioned, because we know that auditors there, they will go through it with a fine comb. And no being a easy. Electoral Commission started making mistakes. We sat there, watched them, and they started making mistakes in common arithmetics. 1 + 1, no matter. And no being an Auditor General started our year. And we must tell them the truth, that what they did wasn't right, and they need to rectify it, not just by a letter. So if the rectification is not coming, what I would admonish the man to do is that he should go to court, get a court to order the Auditor General to go back, withdraw that audit, and present the audited version.
Right. Mr. Sheriff, what can I say to this?
Yeah, so I think with this issue, I wouldn't have that much to say about the issue, because first thing first is to appreciate the availability of this freedom of speech, and that has been what has led us to know what is happening today on this issue. I mean, if the Fourth Estate hadn't brought that up, we wouldn't have seen what is happening today, and maybe getting solutions to them. You understand? Maybe someday it would have been a very big issue. You understand? So I first of all appreciate the availability of that freedom of speech in our democracy, you know, and also I think I cannot politicize this, and what I will say is that I don't think my brother should strictly advise that the man should sue the Auditor General or something.
What should he do? He should
You
just
understand?
accept
We all
the
make
apology.
mistakes.
So he should accept the apology, because
You know-
as it stands now, he's been tagged with someone who has stolen as a thief.
Right. So this is basically going to be about how the person will see it or how the person will react to it. But my advice from my side is that it's being clear now. I think most people that heard of it has seen that it is a mistake now.
Is it everyone?
That is why I said most. You understand?
But how
So-
would you be able to measure that?
To
measure that these are the number of people that have seen it. These are the number of
It
people
was
who have seen that
it
it's
was
been
it
corrected.
was the media that brought it up earlier,
Mhm.
and today it is that same media that has brought it up for us to understand that it was a mistake.
So should the Auditor General go a step further for it to reach a more wider audience?
Yes,
Right.
exactly, because you know I wouldn't advise that I mean the man should go on to sue him, but that would be onto him,
His
whatever he
personal
wants.
decision to
You
take.
understand, because I cannot best out. But for me, I also look at how it has affected me. I measure the percentage, and then I see how to tackle that. But I take into consideration the fact that everyone makes mistakes. You understand? And they coming out to render that apology, and like you said, they should go on to make it wide for people to actually understand. And also I agree with my brother saying here that like it shouldn't just be a letter. Yes, because this is very important. It shouldn't just be a letter, but then they should come out and speak to the people to understand. Because when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, really? Someone in this country is really receiving such amount of money? I mean, with what work? You see that? But it's being clear today. You know, I can't still be on that stance to see that man as such a person. You understand?
Right.
At least.
But looking at such a mistake, should we be worried as a nation?
Yes, we should be. We should be also. And that's how our systems work. You understand? That is why it is very important to introduce into our systems this new AI system. You understand? Because no matter how, I mean, possibly an AI or technology can make mistake,
what human will do will be more than what technology will do.
More than what technology will do.
You understand? I'll use this opportunity to commend the incoming president of our nation. I believe that 2029 he's going to be the president of our country, and that's His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
You like John Mahama.
That's totally unforgivable. If I say that John Mahama should be the next president. No, it has been how he's been on our tongue. How the man has been on our tongue. You know, we are holding him accountable. You know, my brother was saying here that criticizing the government, it doesn't in one way or the other will hold him accountable.
You just affirm that.
My brother here is actually having problems with some certain words here. I should have searched them and then we give explanations to that. That's accountability and competency. You can meet him back door. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. He's a good brother of mine. Then
your last words.
He said I'm an incompetent social commentator. Now he's agreeing with me. He's agreeing with him.
I haven't.
He's agreeing with incompetence. You are agreeing with incompetence.
I am even.
You are agreeing with incompetence. So now you are incompetent as well.
Your last words.
Now you are incompetent as well. Because you are agreeing with an incompetent. How many times did he agree with me on this show?
When we talk
he has agreed with me like
no. Not at all.
Four times.
Not at all.
But he says I'm incompetent.
Not at all.
You are agreeing with incompetence.
Not at all. When we talk about one's incompetence, look, we consider skills. And your skills as a social commentator, it should be very good enough.
Your last words.
You understand?
Your
last words.
So your last words.
Not at all. Me, agree with you.
That
you are. What did I? How did I agree with you?
Should I close without your last words?
No.
All right.
How did I agree with you? I want to know how I agree with you.
You agree with me by
saying that on top of the competency, I'm going to even add accountability, because you said here that what we are doing here, in one way or the other, we are not holding the government accountable by the criticism we put here. And I'm telling you that in one way or the other, criticism can hold someone accountable. So you are wrong by what you were saying. So I was saying that now it is two words. It's not only competency or incompetency, but also accountability. So I'm saying that back door, I'll sit with my brother and then we go through some certain discussions for him to understand very well what accountability is and then competency or incompetency. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. For us to sit here and discuss issues of national interest, and I'll say it again that the MPP are citizens, and whatever we do in our daily activities as communicators of the MPP, we are one holding the government accountable, and two saying things that are of interest for the nation. Right? So thank you so much for the opportunity. I greet everyone here. I give greetings to Honorable Nana Chris Lloyd, who is the incoming national organizer of the MPP, a very competent, hard-working man who aligns with the doings of the youth and how youthful the NDC's, the MPP's campaign is towards the 2028 elections. Need someone
maybe even paid.
Need someone who is very competent, who is very, active with the youth, and I think this is the person who is going to lead us in operations and all sort of organizations for us to get power in 2029. I encourage the delegates of the MPP to vote for Honorable Nana Chris Lloyd for the national organizer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sherry. Mr. Dubik.
The
man of few words.
Okay.
He's man of few words.
He doesn't talk much.
Are you sure?
He doesn't know me. Yeah, he doesn't know. He only sees me here. He doesn't know me.
I don't talk. It's just where we are.
The whole issue of we coming here every day, it's not because we are paid, not because we want anything from anybody. It is because we love this country and we want it to work. If we sit here and we talk, we discuss issues, we don't discuss it because we hate each other or we disrespect each other so much, but sometimes things can get heated and we can say things overboard, which I think that the listeners will understand and forgive us and pardon us for it. So I'm glad after all the incompetence tag he agreed with me in
that. From the beginning.
Yeah, and he has been agreeing with me.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Thank you to our lovely listeners, our lovely viewers. Thank you so much for tagging along with us. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.